Well, Greg, we're live again. Another week of our live series. We had an amazing time last week, a college series with Dave Gifford and Trevor Spencer, talking a lot about just the whole college process, recruitment, what goes into it. We also had some players who are currently at VCU, O'Quinn Robinson as well as Zeron Sewell. They obviously provided us some good information relating to their own experience and just what it is for them, how they adjusted to college life, and the ups and downs for them. So it has really been great. I'm grateful for the opportunity that we've had over the last couple of weeks to just share and bring some information to our student athletes, those who are looking to go pro, those who are looking to go college, as well as our parents who are on and joins us each week to kind of get a little bit more insight into that process. So, Greg, it's been great. I think from the comments that I've been getting over the weeks and the feedback is that it's inspirational. It's very informative, and they've even given us suggestions of some other things that they would want to hear. So, definitely looking forward to tonight's live. We have some very important guests that we're going to share with you shortly. But Greg, it's been great for me. I really had a great time just listening and seeing some of our mentors and our next generation ballers. Really, it looks promising if we're able to find a way to give these kids the information earlier so that they can make better choices. What has it been like for you so far?
Oh, it's been amazing, V. And the positive vibes we're getting back is that it's something real. It's not makeup. We don't have a script. We're just talking. We're just liming like how we do in Jamaica. But with some organization, we want to definitely impact some people, give back some information that kind of behind the scenes that you have to know people or people with major experiences to share their journey and share their stories. So I think it's been genuine. I think it's been great, and the positive feedback is what keeps us going because it's been very helpful. And I think we'll continue to get special guests on, and we'll just talk, just keep it real, have fun, and share our story. It's been great.
Yeah. So how has it been for you? I mean, COVID, every day is another story. We're hearing what's happening across the world. But how are you coping with COVID? What's anything new happening with you at Old Touch, at futsal, RVA?
Well, yeah, the phases. So we're in different phases. So now the governor in Richmond, Virginia, just mentioned phase 3 starts July 1st, which means you can have more people in indoor spaces, which is what I care about. So before it was 30%, it went to 50. Now it's at 75. So that helps my programs so kids can come back inside. But it's still obviously still have the social distancing. You can't run regular sessions like you normally do. Every kid on a ball, which is good for us. It's perfect because kids need to be with their own ball and really get a lot of touches on it. So we had to modify our plan a little bit, but it's been great. Kids are buzzing to get back inside, buzzing to continue working on their individual development, which is what we provide. Coach has been ready to go. I've been ready to go. So slowly getting back in. I think we started 3 weeks ago outside on some local fields. And then the following week we came inside with a limited number. We had like 9 kids per one coach. So it's been good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
How about yourself? How's it going on?
Yeah, I mean, the government is opening up. There are a lot of risk in the opening up, but I think we're learning to adjust to different scenarios. I mean, our situation is like unique. It's not a regular 11-a-side football or competition or a league or a tournament. We're dealing with coaching, so really I haven't spoken directly to our unique offering. We've really opened on a phased approach ourselves, and we're just doing small group and individual and virtual coaching at the moment. Parents were a little hesitant to get out, understandably so, but we put the protocols in place, and we're doing the best that we can. It has allowed for us and the coaching staff to to be tested. We really had to look at ourselves as not part of the problem and waiting for someone to solve it. But if we're in a youth development environment, we have to come up with solutions. We have to come up with approaches that can serve our existing customers and also the wider community who are at home and don't know what's going on, and they can't stay indoors. School is about to be finished. Summer is about to happen. What are you going to be doing? So it really has caused us as a coaches to really come together and find ways. And I mean, I must commend my coaches. They have really done a great job in providing that kind of non-contact environment, keeping the protocols, but still challenging the players. Reality-based coaching in terms of just putting them in scenarios or situations that they have to make decisions. So even at this level, we're able to find different things, whether it's using mannequins or using cones as the defenders, or having them recognize there's pressure on them and what they need to be doing. So it's really been good. We're looking forward to summer. It's going to be a very hot, long summer, but we love coaching. We love the kids, and we're really going to keep at it, and hopefully grow from strength to strength, and find other ways to provide solutions for parents.
Yeah. So, we have a question for you. So for me, when I started my program here in Virginia, it was unique. It was different. Nobody has done that, where you really focus on individual development. And I remember growing up in Jamaica, we didn't have that either. So for you, is that similar? You started that program on the island, or were other people doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much was done before. I believe that there are persons who tried it. They did it in camps and different things. But when I came back, I this is what I came back home to do, and I realized and recognized that I could have gone anywhere within the football landscape, but I thought the best place to go was youth. Start at the base, and I know how important it is about the touch and ball mastery, and just technically being very, very, very sound. And that's what I have really, really spent a lot of time, and that's what we're known for in terms of how technical our players are. But there obviously is a lot more, and we're growing and adding other things. But we want to make sure when the kids come, they have fun, they have a love for the game. That the reason why they're in the game is because they love it, not because they're forced into it. To make their experience be an experience where they really, really enjoy it. And while they're enjoying it, we're teaching them. And how we coach and how we teach is really one where we're helping them to go to the next level, helping them to improve each and every day. And to also, balance that with just making them believe in themselves, making them build their confidence. And we see it translated into, what the parents are saying about them in school, at home, that is not just about the football, but it's outside of the football as well. So, even although we started doing that, I think it's something that I think we can say that that's what we are known for, and we continue to do that because there's no missteps with that. You have to ensure that the players have that as part of their arsenal as players, and we kind of keep building on that.
So last question before we get our special guest. Won't have them waiting, but so for me is just so the youth today are not in the streets playing. They don't play as much. Oh, in the States, come home in Jamaica, and it seems like it's the same. So they don't get that technical, natural ability on the streets anymore. So because that's what the case is in America. That's why my program is. That's why I created my program. Kids they don't spend enough time on the ball. So my question to you is it similar in Jamaica? The kids are not out playing as much as we did as youth.
Yeah, definitely not as much as we did. Not barefooted, going out and just running and kicking ball and learning bust off toe and broke up glass and thing outside and that kind of thing. It's challenging. And obviously with crime and violence and all the different things, there is not as many of them going out there to play. In addition to that, obviously, is the whole challenge of just as groups going out and having fun and just playing the ball. So that definitely is not there as much as we'd want it to be. And so, providing that at our location is also very, very important. And I think an important point is it takes time. This is not a situation where you're going to get returns tomorrow and you're going to have a big star baller you have to really have a commitment for development and sort of value in what we're doing, and to know that maybe you might not see it right now, but down the road it's going to be very, very important to do. And so even what you're doing, I mean, there's a lot of talk about futsal and the importance of futsal. It's not, we've spoken about it, but it's not done here in any great way. You and I have spoken about that, and we'll make an announcement soon. But the reality of it is things like that gets the players out. I'm using the basic requirements that we do have. We have a lot of courts and a lot of fields that are out there abandoned, not being used, and we're able to put that to use. Then you'll find that there might be some other greater things that can be derived from it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, man. That's the key.
Yeah. So we have with us this evening two very, very, very good friends of Greg and I. We grew up together, played ball with each other, and watched their careers, go beyond where we went. They took the game to another level, from college to the pros, and are now coaching and scouts. So we want to just introduce our guests tonight. We have with us Tyrone Marshall and Andy Williams. So for those of us who know, these guys are legends. They are part of our Jamaican football history. When you call the name Tyrone Granny Marshall, a lot of memories come to mind. When you call Andy Bama Williams, there's history there. So we have the pleasure and the honor of having our friends, our teammates, and our brothers who are with us tonight. So we want to welcome Andy and Tyrone. Big up on yourself.
Night. Blessings. How things?
Yeah.
Good, man. But, Granny, where are you in your car?
You're in the supermarket.
Yo, guys, I'm on the road, man. Pick up my son. My son does soccer practice, man.
Yeah. Proud.
Yeah, I'm on soccer duty today.
He's a real good father, man.
Yeah, man. Happy belated Father's Day, gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
You are.
What's up, man?
So,
Mama, where you been hiding, yo?
You know that?
Where is it, Tyrone?
I say, where Andy been hiding?
So where you been hiding? I'm trying to reach you.
Life, man, you quarantine life. You see the beard and everything.
Yeah.
Only time I go outside is to walk the dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I try to catch Mr. COVID.
Yeah, no COVID.
Nah,
All the corona ones are corona and lime.
not too light.
So, Mama,
Yeah.
what on? So you just in the house?
Hey, but I shot that.
Yeah, just in the house. Like my role kind of different from Tyrone right now. Tyrone is on the field basically every day with the players still. I know they're not at full. I don't think they're at full strength like squad training yet. But with me right now, the front office is basically, everybody's quarantined at home, working from home. So that's what I've been doing since April.
No, you don't mind that at all, eh?
Nah, man. After a while, it get it's like Groundhog's Day. Every day is the same thing, and glad the football start back up again. At least I can watch some match. Start following some players again, like I used to do.
Well, Tyrone, how about you? What about you?
Yeah, so we've actually just started now. We're training full. We're on the field, so everyone's participating. We can train 11v11, contact and all that stuff. But we, as the coaching staff and the supporting group, we still have to make sure we're wearing our masks and our gloves and all that stuff, just to make sure we follow those protocols that MLS has laid out for us. But yeah, everyone. Actually, I was telling Andre earlier, on the text message that we start training later this week, just because we're trying to acclimate to the heat, because we can't replicate it right here because of the altitude and we have humidity up here. So we're just trying to make sure we can at least give them some taste of the heat And the altitude obviously helps as well because you can push a little bit harder and try to see if you can get some fitness in. But yeah, we're about out here in the fields training. We head to Orlando here July, I think 3rd or 4th, in preparation for our first game against Colorado and then Minnesota, and then we play Kansas City the last game in the group stage.
Okay. Hey, before we get more into it, Bama, just give the audience a little idea of what you're doing actually now, and then we'll go back to Jamaica days as youth. But give them a glimpse of what your job, your role is there.
So currently I'm the head scout for Real Salt Lake in MLS. Got that role or title or position once I retired. Did a couple years assistant coaching for the first team, but I think I truly like scouting a lot better. Um, I think I kind of have a knack for, finding talent and been okay record so far, but always can improve. But as of right now, I watch college soccer, international soccer. Um, I'm just football 24/7. South America, it just don't matter. If it's on TV or on live or anything on web, I'll be watching. So that's basically it. And then I kind of go through and follow players throughout the season or throughout the years, and then um, you know cut it down to a list of say 15 to 20 players at the end of every season, and then we kind of go through the coaching staff and the GM and try and find the best player that we need for the next season.
All right, good. Granny, how about you?
Yeah, so along, I'm gonna kind of piggyback on to Andy. So when Andy gets done with the players, finding the Albert Rosnicks or the Demir Krylach, he'll send it down to us and we'll have a look. Basically kind of narrow it down. So this is your top three, and as a coaching staff, we'll take a look at it, and say, hey, yeah, this guy is the guy that we want. And then obviously the process will go through, the agents and the front office and them trying to sort that out. But for me, my role here now, this is my 5th year with RSL. Obviously, you progress up the coaching ranks. Coming in as a second assistant, and now I progress into the first assistant role with Freddie Warres as the head coach. And my responsibility obviously have changed a lot more responsibility on my plate in terms of dealing with the players, dealing with the front office, coordinating with Andy when the opportunity comes. Just being more hands-on in terms of my responsibilities and what I need to do to make sure the thing is run efficiently, as well as taking care of practices, making sure that we have the right personnels and all that stuff when practice comes around. Because Greg, you played, Andre, Andy, when things are not right in practice, the session doesn't flow right. So all these little nuances have to be in sequence and have to flow together for you to have a really good session. And especially in the pros, if you don't have a good session, the boys then will let you know about it. So that's a constant, just to make sure that we're training efficiently, we're training our principles, and being really effective and efficient when it comes to that. And that's part of my role, is just to making sure that people are on the right page. We're coordinating and making sure things are run right in behind the scenes, things that you don't notice when you're on the field. All the behind the scene effort that goes into it. I'm part of that group now that has to make sure it's done properly.
Yeah. So obviously, definitely hearing what you guys are doing is great. We definitely want to spend some time talking about, you know, what it is from a coaching perspective and a scouting perspective. But before we go there, I mean, there's more to Andy Williams and Tyrone Marshall than Real Salt Lake. We know you guys from here in Jamaica, and there's a lot of history there, and we kind of want to kind of go through a little bit memory and go back to the days. So we kind of want to start back from as far back as we can go, which is prep school. So Andy Williams, yeah, I know you're laughing, but we know Andy Williams as
Big
the
cheeks. We just love them cheeks.
big cheek,
Love the cheeks there.
shot road to score 40, 50 odd goals, prep school season and a tear up place. So
Yeah,
talk to us, Andy, and then Tyrone. You can talk about your prep school, but and talk about Mona Prep and what that experience was for you. For our viewers and our listeners who are there, we're going to spend some time just talking to them about their past, and then the latter part of the show we're going to really go into their coaching and scouting. So the questions you're asking is about Mona, Peter and Paul, St. George's College, Reggae Boys. This is what this segment is. And then after we'll talk to them about just Real Salt Lake and their playing and coaching at the MLS. So Andy, tell us about prep school, if you can remember.
No, those were special days, especially for me because it was kind of different for me. I grew up, to be honest, I grew up playing tennis with, at that time, Bobby, at the time, my dad, he was all big into tennis, Ligny Club every night. And like the first three, third grade, fourth grade is when like I saw my mom pull out some newspaper clipping of my dad playing for national team. And then once I saw like the newspaper and the press clippings, I'm like, nah, son, I don't want to play no more tennis. Stop playing football. So for some reason I had like a knack for it, and my dad didn't push me too much, but he knew that I was kind of different because at that time I was like 7, 8, and I was playing against 14, 15-year-olds over at Prairie, skimmage ball, and according to him, I could hold my own at that age. So that's how I kind of fell in love with it, and let's move on from there. But like I said, Mona Prep was special. Very good teams growing up. History of football in Jamaica, and I just fell in line with the tradition, and it was pretty successful at prep school.
Granny, your time.
yeah. Well, Peter and Paul. We all three, Greg, Andre, we all played together at Peter and Paul. And for some reason, Mona Prep was always our Achilles heel. We could never beat them guys. So when we finally got to St. George's College and Ballaz was with us now, Greg was like, all right, cool. We might can win something. Yeah. Yeah. So, what I mean? But yeah, Peter and Paul was some good memories, man. I remember, the good old days with Mr. Laggy and all those guys. I mean, we go out and train on the pitch. You have a grass patch here and you have a dirt patch over there. You have to find the grass patch to kick the shot and all them things. But it was great time, man. That's playing there. You know what I mean? Again, I remember fond memories of when we played, Mona and the Enriquez Cup and Alberga Cup, all them things. It was always good times, But for some reason, it seemed like we could never get past them guys. Them always come out with a goal in the last minute to beat us. You know what I mean? So, but overall, man, I mean, there's some good times, good memories. Every time you go to Jamaica and drive past Peter and Paul, I'm like, man, I can't believe I play football on that pitch. You know what I mean? The dirt and all that stuff. But that's where it came from. That's where you get all your touches and learn to master the different parts of the pitch and how to deal with it, right? So, but those were great days, man. Fun memories. I mean, meeting good friends, lifelong friends, and now we're here talking about those good days. So yeah, it was great for me.
But the funny thing, Granny, when you talk about your pitch, at least you guys did have like a dirt patch. Mona would have pure concrete. Practice on concrete. Once in a blue moon, you can go over to Buttercup Park and go train. But NASA,
right.
Yo, you see the comment. So Kevin Muyong
Man.
is on. So Kevin said the man them playing a purple and white from prep school and end up across the street from me at George's. But yeah, Vaz Prep also was a formidable team. When you think about your Wolmer's, Queens,
Absolutely.
Vaz, Peter and Paul, Mona. I mean, those names ring true. We crossed each other paths, semis, quarter, finals, year in and year out. So very, very fun memories. So Tyrone, we were able to get one final victory on Mona in '87. The only one. The only one.
Tyron wasn't with us, right?
Tyron left already.
That's when we went to Yeah, no. We went to thing there, man. When I went to George's, we won the Pepsi, right? The first year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, talk about judges already. All
Yeah,
right.
when I reach George's yet, I have to stay in this side because I'm outnumbered at the next level. So I'm have to stay in a prep school for a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah,
Yeah,
Peter
so
Paul. Yeah, I think I
87.
was gone when you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, 87 we went to Enrique's Cup final. And
What was that at Prairie?
Yeah.
no, that final was up at Hillel.
Was that Hillel?
Ah, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And the play.
Hey, guys, I need to show you a video of that. Hey, if you think shots was shot, you must check out them
Yep.
shots them time there. Yeah.
You want
Yo,
video?
Bama wants some garbage bag shots in them way up there.
Listen, worry about your rider.
Right.
Up there. Yeah. So Andy, so let us know like what was like your most memorable time at Mona Prep? Like what you think was the time that you say, yo, you know, I love this game, love my team. Just something that you can always tell a story of something that what stood out in your Mona Prep career.
To be honest, it would have to be Mr. Brian, the coach.
Yeah.
He was the most, like the hardest, most, everything have to be perfect. You have to do this over again. Or if you don't do it properly, you get some conk in the head. With the whistle, no whistle, knuckle them in the head. And, he just kind of, but when you did everything right, he was the first person to say, all right, you did well. This is what you did good. And he was the one that kind of pushed me in that way to be better each and every time. And like, I think he's one of the, best coaches that I ever came across. And,
because I just remember playing Mona Prep players always had a different swagger about them. Was it because of the coach or is
yeah, man. And then when you're successful, you kind of get more confident. But we just had a good team, and even the older guys before I came, they were pretty good. And then the younger guys, after me, or basically in between on the transition was, after that you had Giovanni, you had Omar Murray, and the pipeline just, I don't know, it was just like one after the other. But it was just a good group of guys, and aside from the coaches.
Yeah. So Andre, I think it's Darren sent us some picture of like our all prep team that Tyron was in the all prep team. Remember that picture? I think I posted.
Yeah.
At the National Stadium, because for me those memories, what really stood out to me at prep school football really is a Milo truck.
Yeah.
After every game.
After the game, he used to run to the Milo truck.
Get the Milo truck, quick.
So when I saw the jersey with the Milo on it, it bring back the memories like, yo, after the game, he used to run to the Milo truck.
I see you got 2 cup of Milo right there.
All right. Big time.
So those are the memories, but it's so that picture, was it the R prep? Did we play against our primary V?
Yeah,
Man, at the stadium.
yeah, man. Everybody was there. I think I was the youngest one. I was like 9 at that time. Everybody else about 11 and 12.
Tyron was about 13.
I was 12, 11.
Yeah, 9 and a 40 goal as a 9-year-old. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but yo, remember that game? Yeah, don't you score from almost half line, Greg? You kick the volley, boom.
I don't remember at all.
Yeah, man, you scored the 1 goal, man, from like close to half line. You kick it and went over the keeper head, boom, goal.
Yeah.
1-0.
When the keeper them shot in time, he just kicking the air.
You scored the goal. You're supposed to remember them things.
I remember. I'm glad you tell me. So somebody asks me next time, I can tell them it's me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Remember that goal, man. Beat them 1-0. I'm sorry, right it.
So hold on.
Remember, I bet you on them one day. Give a trophy.
Was Ernie and them playing for all primary?
Yeah,
Trevor
Ernie
Yeah,
played.
man. Ernie, Ali, all of them play for all primary.
and Robbie.
All of them
Ali,
with the primary.
What you say, Andy?
Ali too?
Yeah, man. Maybe not in that. Yeah, well, Ali was there. If it's not 87, definitely 88. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Robbie was in goal.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, it was.
No,
What's his name was in goal?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Wasn't it Kevin?
Is that game that was tonight?
Kevin
Yeah,
Edwards. Yeah, man.
Kevin.
Kick off the one head. Kick off the one head. In a Alex boots.
Alex.
Alex, yo, jump with the Alex. I tell you,
Come on. Straight from Mulde.
Yeah, man.
Remember when son used to hit the front of that in a 1 year? The black plastic boots.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Kevin Edwards was
yeah,
a
man.
goalkeeper, and you get a breakaway and you kick off the man. Forehead and bust up the man face.
The job to score
Yeah.
goals, so I go for the ball, I better move.
So guys, we have a number of persons who are online bigging us up. So Kevin Muyong is here. Darren is there. Colin Illinois is there. Richard Powell, Mitch Lewall,
So long, Richard Powell. Wow.
yeah, Jelani Everin, Jay Henry, Marlon Dixon, Johan Chung, Mario Hu.
Yeah.
Big up everybody. Stephen Price, big up. I know it says Georges, so I'm going to outnumber tonight, but it's all right. Kevin, you have to stay online here. You have to bring a little balance to this thing.
But who will come join him?
Yeah, man. I remember call Foley. I have a call Foley for Andy. Yeah.
Pull it, man. Pull it.
Yeah, so definitely prep school days, definitely a lot of memories, and coming out of prep school into all prep, all primary, and then moving on to high school, so let's touch a little into that. Our high school journey was a long journey from Pepsi to Coles to Manning Cup. So let us start with Pepsi. I don't know the fun memories for Pepsi, but I know we were back to back JC Georges from as early as 87 DNG oval. But yeah,
Yeah, when I beat the first year, beating a one love,
one
DNG.
hot one,
Yeah.
Regin. Hot one. Yeah,
So
man.
pour me and Andy.
Yeah.
Pour me and Andy.
So it hot because everybody would ask this question: why I have so many friends who are judges? Well, I never wanted to go to any other school other than where my friends were going, and 90% of the friend them, Kevin Phillipson, Andy, Tyrone, so many people were going to judges. That I said that's where I want to go, and obviously I chose not to go there, which is fine.
You just want to walk across the street.
Yeah, we just want to walk across the street. Who would not want to walk across the street? Mr. V say, yo, just go there 1 year. If you don't like it, then you can transfer. Well, the rest is history. But I remember after that first game, that final, I look and I said, boy, I could have really win a trophy. I come and go at JC and get this one hot one. And that was what I remember. And I said, boy, I'm going to be committed to ensure that I have to find a way to kind of win some game against my friend them. So that was I remember that. I remember that first year going to Pepsi final and losing. But that was my experience. I remember Pepsi. It was great, but I was playing against Kevin and the guys on KC, Ricardo, McGill, Chris, and Fabian. All of them was at KC, and then the rest of them at Georgia. So North Street take 90% of the all prep team, and Kurt Garfield, Woolmers, and yeah, Rowan Brown and Justin Bramwell go KC. Yeah, if you call the names, those guys, KC and George is where most of the people were. So I remember all of that. But what about you guys? What were your memories of prep school? High school.
Pepsi, start with Pepsi.
Not you, Obama.
Well, like you said, team them did stack for some reason, but it was fun. Like I think we went Pepsi 3 years straight when I got to Dodgers. and it just was like a football high school. Like the first thing is, everybody come to school. You want to play football. You're ready for training. Ready for go play. You want to win this. You want to win that. And like for me coming from Mona, that's all I knew. So that's the mentality I came into George is like, yeah, I want to win everything. So like Foley said, people dead.
Yeah. Um. So Andy, I mean, was there a major decision for you to go to St. George's? I mean, that was just a given that you're leaving from Mona. I mean, I know Mona trained at JC. And so, I mean, was it in your mind to go to JC, you go to Woolmer's, or you just knew that it's George's you're going?
Bobby of Judges, Africa Judges. and you want to follow tradition, and he made his name there. And when I used to play at Mona Prep and walk around with daddy, everybody like, oh, your father used to play this, and used to go Judges, and used to do this and Manning Cup, blah 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 blah. So of course you want to follow his steps, and see if you can get a name for yourself. But like I never go there like, I'm gonna get, I'm gonna be the best thing ever. But I just wanted, he loved Georges, and I just like, all right, just follow tradition.
All right, let us hear from Tyrone here now. Tyrone, what about you? Coming from prep school, was there a major decision that you had to make, and how did you go about making that decision as to which high school to go?
Say that again, Andre. Can't
No,
hear you.
I saying, was there a major decision that you had to take to go to high school from prep school, or do you knew you wanted to go to George's and that was it? What was that like?
I know this is not what you're saying because I can't hear you, but I'm just gonna speak along what Andy was saying. So again, part of my journey to when I got to St. George's, my dad attended the school, and just want to follow tradition like Andy was saying. Want to go to George's, following your father's footsteps, play football there and all that stuff. And when I got to George's, all of a sudden my name become Granny Marshall. I'm like, what? Tyrone Marshall, my name Granny Marshall. So that's where that stuck. My dad named Granny Marshall, and he was telling me the story behind it. There were two Cornell Marshall, in his class, and for some reason they end up calling him Granny Marshall because of laugh or whatever it was. So like a granny. So granny just stuck with him the whole time, and then that was my name as well. Granny Marshall. Your father footstep and all that. But going to George's, it was a great experience for me. Obviously, I played up to third form, and then I left Georgia and migrated to the state. But when I was there, like you were saying, the first year we won Pepsi, and then coming from Peter and Paul, where I always got to the finals and we always fell short, now get to George's, high school, and the first time we get to the finals, George's will win the championship. So yeah, we're off to a good start. Um, you know, Fast forward that now, move on to Colts. I think it was our third year when I was playing Colts and Manning Cup. I think we had probably one of the best Colts team. And I remember we played Andre in the finals in stadium, and man, them beat we were playing in the rain game actually. And I can't remember what. And the man them kick the ball up in the air, and the keeper go for catch. I think Robbie go catch the ball and turn sideways, and it drop out that man, and I'm going on the goal. And that game there for could have ball, me that ball. Cause we have the best team. We beat Andre them come down at Georgia, and think we beat them also 3-1 or something like that.
3-1 you
With
beat it, yeah.
down at Georgia. 3-1 down at Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, no, man ever be we have in the finals. One love, one hot love, the man them give we again. Serious man. But overall, that was my experience in with Georges. I give you a quick little backstory. So that year, right? So when I came back from Miami Classic, I remember Bertis Bell, because I didn't go training for Manning Cup. Bertis Bell, I went to coach practice and him came over to him and said, yo, Granny, here say you didn't come at training, all right? So, don't bother come back. So I'm saying, all right, no problem. I train with coach. And then all of a sudden, somebody get injured and him say, I need you to come out at training, go up on the bench, first game. And after that, my next thing I know, I play in a Manning Cup game over Sabina Park. I'm gonna say, yo, what go on here? So, so that was my experience with Georges, playing Money Cup and Coles, my third year in third form. It was good experience, and then after that, migrate to the States with my family and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my experience there in with the high school Judges.
Granny, Granny, you know why we lose the final, right? You know why we lose the final. Miss Ali never give me a minute. Yo, I've never sat on the
Oh
bench
man,
in my life. Man have me on the bench the whole game. Not even a
I sit
minute.
down.
Give me. That's why we lose. I tell him.
Yeah,
Tell him what I'm saying.
but you remember that game?
Eh?
Yeah, you remember that doing rain down at
It was
stadium.
muddy. It was muddy. It was muddy. The worst
Yeah,
field. We should have played the game on mud.
worst team ever. We shouldn't lose the game.
Yeah, well, we can have stories of
No,
who
but
should lose, but we'll take the victory. Yeah, we'll take the one.
The one
We'll give him a Pepsi. We'll get it back.
yeah, yeah,
The actual
yeah. Come on,
background to that,
absolutely.
you guys wouldn't know this, but so that same day was the Walker Cup final, and JC was the big
Yeah,
side.
uh,
Just like how George was a star-studded side. There's no way on paper George is supposed to lose that game, and likewise JC played
yeah,
Tivoli. And I remember we're at school getting ready for the game, and all these old boys driving past us and say, "What you guys doing here?" So we say, "We have Colts final." Them say, "Oh, all the best," and drive gone around to Manning Cup. And Manning Cup is a big team, and everybody support the Manning Cup team. And they went, and everybody was just clear that that JC is going to win the Walker Cup. So we went into the game with Georges. I played the drums because them. I was listening to the drums that Georges playing against Georges, thinking it's not thinking, but knowing it's Georges drums. But I played to the beat of the Georges drum, knowing that we're uphill task. I mean, all of you are my friends, and I'm playing against you guys. I'm like, yo, this is an uphill. But whether the rain, whatever you want to call it, but we'll take the one love. We'll take the one love, yeah. It's the only time we beat you. Not only that's the second time. That
yeah.
was the first time that we beat you. We beat you again in 90. What is it? We beat you the same year we went to in the 93.
92, 93, yeah.
Yeah, 93. But
But
yeah,
that course me not come never play. Me never play course.
You never play, mama. See?
hear this,
We play about 3 matches in a course. All George's like.
Yeah.
So,
That's
where
Yeah,
we?
you're too big a baller, so you just go straight to Money Cup. And not my fault that you should have calm down.
Yeah,
But before we ask any questions, I mean
Obama.
there's a lot of comments in the group. I want to kind of acknowledge some. I'm told here now that both Tyrone and Andy were big cricketers.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, we're hearing that you guys are big cricketers. So I want to big up
Come on,
what is it, Tyrone?
Milo,
Milo. Yeah, man.
big
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, I know it's a Milo, the coach for that thing, the cricket team.
Yeah.
Run him out. Oh, you run him out. See, he's taught Spanish as well.
There's a Spanish. Remember, he's a
Yeah.
Spanish teacher. He was a Spanish teacher.
He's a funny teacher. Yeah. So when you hear him up in the sun, Granny, run him out. I'm like, what? What?
You have to roll
Man,
that
roll
hard.
the
Roll, roll it.
run him out.
Yeah.
The only,
Uh,
the only reason why I play cricket is anything we get out of class.
That's another reason to go out of class.
Alright, yeah, man. Cricket season. Yeah, man. I'm up on the team. I'm play cricket.
Yeah.
Anything we leave school early.
Yeah. Puppy Dog is online. Bigging up you guys. So big up Puppy Dog. Yeah, Puppy, tonight we're kind of outnumbered here. It's not much of Wolmer's and JC. It seems to be a George's dominated show, but we big up Wolmer's nonetheless. Big up Wolmer's and Casey. Yeah, so that definitely is our Pepsi and favorite Colts. I think we're going to go into like the meat of what we know was very, 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 very big memories, which is our Manning Cup and Walker Cup days. So I don't know who wants to start. Tyrone, before you left and Gregory left, I mean, you guys can talk a little bit about that, but what was that feeling playing for George's Manning Cup and then before you guys left? And then Andy can talk about his Manning Cup experience as well. Tyrone, are you hear it?
Go on, Greg.
Manning Cup. No, Manning Cup was the Premier League of our youthful days in Jamaica. And George's was the Manchester United. So that was always that was,
You have to squeeze that one in, eh?
Yeah.
no, but on a real no, man, Manning Cup was the ultimate. I mean, when we were used, my older brother played Manning Cup, so I used to come watch him from Peter and Paul and just invite and the crowd. I mean, that crowd at training, you have 300 people, 200 people at training. And you got to watch at Sabina Park and you have 5, 6, 7, 10,000 people. That was a dream. That was a dream of ours as youth players to play in the Manning Cup. That was the ultimate. That was even bigger than national team at the time.
Yep.
So that was every youth footballer's dream to play Manning Cup, and we were lucky enough to play for St George's, which is a big football school. So my time was 90 and 91. 90, I was young. I never played much. I guess. Andy, you were on a team 90 or no? Did you play in Manning Cup 90?
Nah, 91, 92, 93.
Yeah. So Tyrone, you played 90, right?
Yeah, Tyrone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's the year. That's the year I played. Both Colts and Manning Cup.
yeah, so we played 90. Never played much. I was on the bench. And they never allowed me to play Colts. I never played Colts either. Something was going on that year. They never meant to play the Colts. That was Manning Cup or Colts. Some foolishness still going on.
Yeah.
Probably yours are.
Yeah,
Remember. But some Manning Cup,
absolutely.
91 Manning Cup team for me was, I asked yours and I can ask Andy, but for me, 91 Manning Cup team was probably one of the best teams. And I migrated after that. We lost to Arden in the semi-final, Andy.
I don't know what's the name.
Yeah, so we lost, but then we win the Walker Cup. So 92 was going to be the big year, but I migrated to the US that year. And then, Georges ended up winning Manning Cup 92. But no, Manning Cup days was memorable. Memorable days, not jokes with the coach, players. As Andy said, we used to get to Manning Cup. Whenever we have a game, we used to go eat lunchtime. We used to go out for 2 hours to go eat. We were treated like pros. So it's good times. Really fond memories of Manning Cup days. Granny, what about you?
Yeah, look, my memories of Manning Cup day is friggin' Muggy Graham coming up on my house 6 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning and blow him on and I have to get ready to go training. That's the part about it I wasn't really too, keen on. Just waking up doing early morning training before school. That's my memory of Manning Cup. Obviously because you're a young youth and man want to get you stronger and fitter and all them things. So them say, yo, we need to work on things, right? So that was my memory of just, waking up early in the morning and going to training and, then afterward get ready to go to school and then in the afternoon again, train again. I'm like, yo, man, this thing too much football this for me. But in the long haul, it kind of paid dividend because it just kind of instill some discipline in you and some good work ethic. Because if you can get up early in the morning to go train, I know Simo was part of the group too, and Adrian. Yeah, they used to come out early in the morning. Cause Graham, he used to come pick you up and say, yo, training. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things that, looking back now, you say, yeah, you appreciate that because, the work that you had to put in, to be where you are, it started from there. So yeah, definitely those were the memories that I took. And, when Burtis Bell come over and say, yo, Granny Marshall, we want to come sit down on the bench and this, I'm saying, no problem. And next thing I know, Greg, one injury and I was playing, so it just one of those things, man. Yeah. Burtis come say, yo, Granny, we want to sit up on the bench. We go, I'm sorry, I'm just sit down not thinking we're going to play. Next thing you know, boom, man threw me in the game. You know, I'm saying, all right, we're gonna deal with it. You know, and that was it. Yeah, but yeah, those are my fondest memories of with Morning Cup, man.
What position you playing, Monica? Tyrone.
Yo, the man me playing defensive mid, holding mid, you know, the midfield. I deal with it. Yo, remember I'm gonna play Tivoli, yo, I'm gonna play Tivoli over Sabina. I forget how which youth in the midfield. The man just rush me and come to one thumping on my belly, you know. I said, what the blood? Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, the man thumping on my belly. I said, hey, boy, you better not do that again, you know. I forget what I did, right? But the man just rushed me and I punched me in the belly because I look at you, I'm not look for me. Hey, boy, hey, little boy, and this, you know what the man I'm going already. That's pure badness, the man going with Tivoli team. You know, I try to body up. I make you afraid.
Yeah.
Yo, the man thumping on my belly, man. I'm saying, yo, next time I hold him, man, one ratty tackle, boom. So, yeah, hold that, you know. So yeah, man, it was good, man. You know, it obviously gave me an opportunity to learn to play in different roles. You know, because coming from prep school, you know, you play more of the striker role, you're playing up top in the midfield, but you know, all those different positions that you played, you know, have made me who I am, you know, today. You know, being able to play all the different roles and learning the different roles as well.
Yeah. Mama, tell me about yours.
Aye, Manning Cup days, oh, Gregory said it was Manning Cup then was much bigger than the national team at the time.
Yeah.
Like when it was like when you go to stadium and you see the stadium full for watch people play, high school football or Stadium East, Stadium West, match ram.
Training.
Yeah, even training, yeah. You have the old boys and coming down to watch practice. Former players coming back to watch training, and it was just like one big, like a big movie. Like that's how the eyesight was, and yeah, you always want to be, you know, you have your little, what do you call it, role, I guess, to play in this movie. So, it like I said, that 91-92 team, like it carried over from Pepsi, those teams, those players, and it just spiral into a football machine, which and Burgess was know how to get everybody on the same page, and just like I said, great captain. You have Marvin McLean, Ernie,
Omar Thomas.
Omar Thomas, them
Yes.
Dodgers legends. So it was just right place, right time for me. I was just lucky.
Yeah. So Andy, one question: who was the most? Because I have mine, and you're one of them. But who was like one of the most talented footballer that you ever
The talented footballer, what? The last part where you said?
most talented footballer you played with in Jamaica? The
Ali Rose.
big time.
Like Ali Rose and Walter Boyd. I never said
No,
I never said anybody in the world do things with them do. Like it was,
from a young age.
yeah. And I just like I remember playing with them and just on the field, and I'm like fanboy, just watch like boom, that's what really do. I'm on the field too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I feel sorry for them man there. Like there's so many things like between Ali and Walter is like, geez, like I couldn't picture what I'm doing. Like I couldn't replay it. Like, yo, I can't remember what I'm doing, but I just know it's in church
Great.
and it's so easy.
Ali used to do some things where after him do it, me go home go try do it. Remember we used to
Yeah,
think about
yeah, yeah.
we have some things, man. I say, whoa. So Tyra, how are you? Who was the biggest baller you play with? Most talented that
Yo,
I go already. Never really make it.
yeah, I have to say, I think that Bucky Bonds, right?
Yeah,
And also, Walter Boy.
yeah.
Yeah. So the first time I remember when I just joined the national team, and we went to Brazil for the first training camp I had, and the man would say, "Yeah, Walter Boy, that come in," and I said, "What? Yeah, Walter Boy, this and that." And we had a practice game, Greg, in the Maracana. I think we play against Santos or one of them team. Yo, so Walter Boy, I don't think he trained yet. This is the first time I see him like play live. Because the man that's coming at the game, I'm subbing at the game. And I say, Water boy, pick up the ball on the side, and two man come at him. One come from, say, lower, and one come high. You know, there's a back press. And I'm going to say, Water boy, the thing when they flick it between him foot, and I flick it over him head, and pull it, and two man and run up on each other and say, no, man. Can't believe the man that do that. Real game, you know. I said, no, man. I said that, Greg. I say, yeah, the boss that. Black. Yeah, black of that. Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, man, for real, because I always tell people there's some really special players come out of Jamaica that never really made it because of journeys and things that happen, exposure. But there's some unbelievable talent where it's just raw talent. The man just pick up the ball and do whatever they want with the ball. Where most of us have to spend hours and hours.
Yeah.
And just come natural.
Yeah.
It's sad to see some of them don't make it. It's just,
Yeah. You ever play Bucky Barnes?
Nah, it was before.
From Camperdown.
Yeah.
Yo, Bama,
I used to read about him.
we go down a thing there down a Tivoli. And Camperdown was a train down a Tivoli, right? And you have Jackie Water.
Jackie Walter's cool.
You know, you have Pepsi. Yeah. Yo,
Pepsi,
Mr. Bucky
Pepsi
Barnes pick up
and
the ball.
Adonis Maxwell.
This,
Woo,
yeah,
Pepsi.
Dennis Maxwell. Yo, all of them man up on the field enough. And when Bucky Barnes pick up the ball, I'm going to say, yo, watch this man here. Man, just take it down on the left and come to boom, 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 and go through. Every time the man pick it up, the man beat him defender. I say, yo, man, you're a bad man. Push it by him, push it around him, push it to him leg. All them things. I say, yo, the man in a kick down the man head. We can't touch him. Yo, the man, wicked man. Wicked player, that man.
Like at that time, I wouldn't read about them guys because I was playing Pepsi and them was already playing Manning Cup, and at that time I never really get to watch the Manning Cup games. I remember, like I said, the time I watch, I don't know how I got to watch Blacker at Excel. I got to Excel one time to watch Manning Cup play for some reason. I don't know why. That's the first time I see Blacks play, and I was like, my jaw up on the ground, like wow.
Yeah, man, you have some big names. I mean, Tyrone mentioned it, but Camperdown, as you know, so Jackie was coaching Camperdown, and I mean, see Kevin right there, but Vance Wall, Pele, Bucky Barnes, Pepsi, Adonis Maxwell, Scuffrey, Backled. I mean, them ball never normal. I mean, I play club ball for Mountain View, so I get to see them regularly, and I mean, they were not normal players for sure. Those names that you guys call, I mean, never really translated into national team, but you definitely know they were amazing set of players for sure. Big. Dane Walker, yeah. Jelani, you know the name them. But yeah, some very big name football players for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else before we leave off on Manning Cup? Anything else, Greg, Simo, Andy? Anything else about the Manning Cup experience? A memorable moment, a game, a goal scored? Anything about that your last Manning Cup years before moving on to?
So I guess the last question I asked in high school for Andy and Andre and Tyrone is, what did you take from the Manning Cup from your time in Jamaica as we transition out of Jamaica? What did you take from your experience in Jamaica into the college and professional ranks?
Johnny?
Yeah, so when I came to the States, my first thing, I mean, footballing, you felt like, your talent level was way above a lot of these guys in terms of your skill set. I mean, I was playing with the men's league, in the men's league when I came to the States, just because, my dad at the time, he felt like, yo, you're going to be challenged here. So he put me with a bunch of men that we were playing in the men's league on Saturday night, just because the 17s at the time, they weren't, the standard wasn't high enough for me to be challenged, right? And to play football. So I think coming from Jamaica, you're full of confidence. You can run by a guy, you can pop a man, cut him up. I mean, that's how it was back in the days. I mean? So definitely that transition coming up to the state helped me in terms of my confidence and, my skill set, thinking that you can do more. The speed wise as well, speed of thought, speed of play, all that stuff was all the attributes that I had when I came up here. So it was good.
Reading some of these comments is funny.
Yeah.
So Calvin just bring up something about 92 halftime finals. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. So please please elaborate. But
Ask on that, but
um for me, learn from Manning Cup days, like I just and Mona Prep, like I just had this winning mentality after that. Like everything I played, I needed to win. And it was like 6, 7 years straight where I just, win something, Pepsi, Manning Cup, like some kind of trophy, and it just, it kind of, pushed me to when I got to the next level, like, college was next, but like, even went to college, I went to a small school that wasn't big in football, and I was like, nah, sir, like I need to turn this around. This, like, I'm not coming to do it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the most I can recall say playing football in Jamaica taught me, especially for Georges and Mona.
Yeah. So Andy, the reminder from Calvin. Calvin trying to bring up some memories here, so I'm gonna help you. Calvin said that's when you kick it from the half line, kick it right back from nearly the half line, and that's where you get the name Bomber from. You don't remember that?
It wasn't
Bama.
finals. It was semifinals. It was quarterfinals, finals, back to back. 1 week right foot, next week left foot.
Yeah.
What?
Charles Smith, like
The
identical.
Bama.
You think is like it was a replay from the week before. One and like I said, enough of it is luck. You know, close your eyes
Yeah.
and just kick.
I just kiss.
Yeah, well, you close your eyes and kick from prep school days. So you had a lot of luck through your whole football journey because you did a very good job on doing that.
Like Gregory said, the goalkeeper on the shot.
However you want to do it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of experiences, a lot of memories, definitely. Yeah, I was going to ask you, Bama, where you got the name Bama from, but
Yeah.
you guys in the group, you're outlining it. So guys, Jason and Johan reminded me of something. So again, I accept that I'm going to be outnumbered tonight. So every little time I can bring in JC, I'm going to bring it in. But Jason and Johan, in my final year, were my best friends. So we used to hang out together, school, you name it. And I ended up being at Jason and Johan house. And George's don't have training, but JC have training. And we drive. Jason and Johan dropped me to JC training. So I come out of the car, and coming out of the car now, I come out now. I'm captain of JC Money Cup team, and I'm coming out of the car of a George's players. The man them more drop up like how it's like the worst thing you could ever think about doing. How could you really and truly come in here with a George's set of man them who you know you're going to play against? I'm gonna say I was my bridging them. I have training, them do have training. And I think Jason and Johan for a moment were considering sitting on and watching the session. For a moment. And them jump in the Gemini, I believe it was, or the Swift. I don't remember which one of the vehicle. And
Swift.
the blue Swift.
The blue Swift.
Yeah. And left. That was one memory. Then when we end up playing in the Walker Cup final, there's a particular scene where Jason was tackling me. Jason put on a tackle where everybody in the crowd know we're friends, but the tackle was of no normal tackle. The tackle was like, "Hey, me no business who you be, but me I go make sure you know, sir. You now pass me today." And him give it one of them tackle and look at me like, "Who you?" One of them serious screw face tackle, proper tackle. But I remember those two incidents because definitely the last one obviously for me was so I don't know how much. So you guys are judges, so you are going to hear the judges side. I don't know how much of the JC side you're going to hear. So we're playing Walker Cup final. The days leading up to the Walker Cup final, we're taking penalty shootout and practicing. So you have big kickers like me and Foley and Ricardo McGilchrist, Osvaldo Latimore. Big kick. I mean, you either go and kick it and end up down in the sea, or broke up some glass, or broke a man hand. no direction, just brute force. Then you have the players Marlon, Nash, and Carnegie and them there would just place the ball.
Yeah.
So I go up now and I kick. Now try remember, Robbie is my teammate, so I play against each other. We know each other. Robbie know I am going to his right, and it's just me and him. We're just going to go at it. So I kick. Robbie touch it. It scores. So the story after them say, well, Capo, you kick it so hard and him touch it. And winner kicks so powerful. So before the game before them even kick, we lose. Robbie, I think Robbie walk across and pick up one from Nash. And then Carnegie go and pick up one that go way across the crossbar. But as a captain, I thought about when they asked me if I should have kept the same list. And there, in the back of my mind, boy, I know who Robbie is. Robbie is one of the best keepers ever. Well, the best goalkeeper ever played against. So I'm like, this placement thing now go work. So in the back of my mind, I'm gonna make Foley kick. I make Ricardo McGilchrist kick, but Ricky no kick penalty. Ricky say I go use bathroom or Moyon can talk about that, but Ricardo McGilchrist not kicking no penalty. Him rather go use bathroom. So anyways, so I thought about Asbala Latimore, Foley, me, and Ricky kicking instead of Nash and Carnegie to be able.
You pick the kick at them?
I mean, my captain, so I could have tell coach. I mean, you have influence sometimes, but in other words, coach asks what you want to do. What you want to do, and I'm just like, well, boy, coach, I think is it we practice, so probably have to go with what we practice, but. I look back and I said, boy, I wonder how it would have been if the Bombers did come and just kick. No, there's no guarantee you would have got a goal, but they would have kicked proper.
In a Pananiville.
Yeah. And then it ended with so the shot that I took, maybe I mean to this day I walk around and everybody's like, boy, if you scored that kick that you take, it would have been different. So I remember that. That's what I live. That's probably what I'm known for, the shot that almost scored. And then the write-up in the paper was Georges owes it all to Robbie. That was the headline. So that is the JC side of the victorious St. George's. I think you're on a roll there. But that was my memory. Georges owes it to Robbie. And I think I took close to probably 8 shots that in a normal circumstance it probably would have saved. I mean, would have scored, but Robbie was in a class by himself.
Yeah, and, anything over half line be a shoot.
So Andy. So when the game started, Robbie, his antics. So Robbie start drop on the ground and hold him foot and all kind of thing. I remember I take a shot, probably around 30 yards, and Robbie concentrate on him chest. Put it on the ground and say, "Oh, where you go with that? Come better."
Him no flash him hand.
Yeah, man. And then the next one, him flash it and dive and then hold him foot. Same foot I hurt him.
Roll over like 10 times.
Yeah, same foot I hurt him. And me say, all right, well, anything me get me a kick. But that is what Robbie wanted to do. Him just want you kick from far out. So he will have some strategy about him, but nothing was wrong with Robbie. But he wanted everybody to think something was wrong with him. And full of style and flick over crossbar and antics. But definitely, I would say is the best goalkeeper I've ever seen in my entire life of playing. So
I agree with that.
Hands down. And you look at it where so Robin don't want to trade.
No, Robin not just retired last year. I'm still a player.
No man, him done now, man. Yeah. So those are some good memories. Definitely our Manning Cup time was some very, very good memories. I mean, we could have sit down and talk about this for so long, but you guys went on beyond that and Andy went to Rhode Island, Tyrone went to FIU. Tyrone, you won the championship. You scored a bicycle for FIU. I remember the
unicycle.
It's a bit
bicycle.
Mini
cycle. Yeah.
Bicycle.
Tricycle.
Yeah. So
no,
Tyrone.
When
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, no, I was just saying, when we got to college and stuff, it was great experience. We won. I went to a small school in Kentucky first. We won the championship. Lindsey Wilson, right? Funny story that not funny, ironic. Trevor Ernie ended up being my roommate. Because I remember the coach said, "Hey, we have a kid from Jamaica come to play." Name Ernie. I'm like, what? Ernie? Nah, man, that's yeah, Trevor Spencer. I'm saying, okay, Ernie. So Ernie came to the school and played with us there in Lindsay. We won the championship there, the first championship, and then I transferred out to FIU, which is Division One. And at the time, the reason why I transferred out because MLS was playing. They're starting up. They started to bring in the league, and like, yo, I want an opportunity to try, show my talent in front of the pro coaches because the reason NAIA, nobody's looking at NAIA school. Them think you can't play, as a small school. So that was the idea to go to FIU to try to see if you can, showcase your talent. And then came to FIU. We went to the Final Four. Scored a goal in the Final Four. A lot of coaches were there watching. Eventually we lost in the finals to St. John's. But I think from that, from showing the talent in the previous game, when it came to my senior year, I got a lot of accolades and stuff like that, All American, all these things, and then I got the opportunity to get drafted. So I think it stemmed from me making the transfer from a smaller school to a bigger school where now you can showcase that you can play with the elite athletes at the time, the elite players in the country. That's to prove yourself, and so we're very very grateful, very thankful that I made that choice and got the opportunity to do my thing.
Yeah, so Tyrone Pierce, same have the bicycle kick on for FIU on video if you want it. You probably have it in your archives already, but Pierre Hosang same have a copy if you want it. Yeah,
Yeah. Pierre, Pierre, my cousin. Yeah,
yeah. Um,
yeah, man. Big up Pierre. Big up Pierre.
Tyrone, I mean Andy, what about you? I mean, moving from Georges to Rhode Island.
So, so for me, like seeing that all of us were friends, I was the youngest one.
Yeah,
So after for them, Georges win everything, Manning Cup, Walker Cup, and then '94 is when everybody got on university but me, and I was like, "No, sir." Like, I'm not staying here. You guys gone to Howard, Tyrone gone. I was like, no, what? Like, I can't just still live in Jamaica by myself. So I was 16, and then I'm sure everybody know on this chat know about Paul Harvey.
yeah,
So I was like, all right, I don't need to play Manning Cup again. I'm good. Like, I'm already done. Everybody gone to college. I'm not gonna stay here by myself. So we had Paul Harvey used to have this game weekend where all these college coaches come down and watch all these, all the guys that can do the SATs and want to go to school in the US. So there's like 5 or 8 coaches come down and we play this game on Saturday and Sunday morning, charges. And all the coaches after the game, all the coaches are like, oh yeah, we like you, want him. And then once the coaches find out I was 16, I was like, shit, nah. You're too young. Like, wait 1 more year. And I was like, what? Like, I can't. I was like, nah, I need to go to the US. Like, I'm not staying here next year. So at that time, Paul Harvey came with University of Rhode Island. Was the only one that was giving you a full ride. So I'm like, yep. I don't know where Rhode Island is. I have a full scholarship. I'm playing football. And of course, my mother, she's like, nah, you're not going. You need to go get your education, get your degree. Um, like I've dabbled, playing like going to Europe and have tryouts and stuff at that age, 15, 16. But I always listen to your mother, schoolwork is make the dream work, I guess. So at that time, Rhode Island was like, all right, we'll give you a full ride, we take you right now. So I'm like, all right, yep, I'm coming to Rhode Island. Boy, getting to Rhode Island. I was like, wow. I was like, where am I? I was like, only person there at all. Nobody from Trinidad, nobody whatever. So the first semester, I get there August, um, and I go in, and as always, and every team I ever played on, I'm the youngest person there. And of course, I'm 16. You have 19, 20-year-old seniors and whatever, and everybody's like, "Who's this? Look, a 16-year-old boy." Everybody was like, "Full ride, whatever." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." Rhode Island didn't win anything in their life. I don't think I'm win the conference ever. Maybe back in 1940s or ever 50s, maybe then. But so that first season we did all right. Wasn't that great? And then Christmas came around, and I was like, my parents were like, "Nah, you're not coming back to Jamaica." I'm like, "For holidays." I'm like, "What?" Like, I was like, I went crazy. So they sent me to Canada to visit my grandmother. So that winter I stayed in Canada for the break. During that time in Canada, I told my coach, I'm like, "I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. Like it is too no diversity, like nothing Jamaican whatsoever." And of course, I had the accent, and everybody's like, "What do you say? Repeat that again." And I was like, "No, I couldn't deal with it." So for some reason, I don't know how this happened. And maybe Paul Harvey was the one that did it. So Troy Robinson used to play with at Mining Cup for Georges. So somehow he transferred that January to Rhode Island. So that changed everything for me. So once he transferred, I went back, and he was my roommate for the next 2 years, a year and a half, wherever he was there for that. And that made me stay at Rhode Island. And I guess you can say the rest is history. Like the turnaround, the coach started recruiting better. We got better players. We won conference the next year, and went to the NCAs. Got knocked out by we're like 64th ranked in the NCAs. They played against Virginia, UVA, which was just ranked number one.
Yeah, what a good game. Remember what good game, V?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Claudia still playing? No. Damian Silvera.
Yeah, Bruce Arena, what you know.
AJ Wood.
Yeah.
Benny
Big name.
Wilson.
Yeah, AJ.
Big name.
Yeah.
Good side.
Clint Pierre, Bruce was the coach, and there was the biggest thing, and we lost 1-0 to them. And so like from there, the recruiting got better, our team got better. We started winning the conference, starting going to the NCAs playoffs after that, and kind of turned around the school, history after that. And they've been doing good ever since I left. So congrats to them.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're a college America, what do you used to call it? All America top 20 or something. Yeah, you're entire in that big. Remember the name they call up regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, so college was great. I mean, it had wonderful experiences. We kind of want to now shift quickly, and we're going to go into your national team. Just quickly go there. So some questions that I had from before. What was it like playing for the Reggae Boys? Andy, obviously you went to the World Cup, so there's you can share about that. Or Tyrone, I mean, I know you scored, I guess, so many goals for Jamaica, but can you just share what is it about playing for the Reggae Boys and that feeling, just to represent the country, and you guys attempt to either play in the qualifiers, going to the World Cup. What was that like? It would be good for us to kind of get a glimpse into what that journey was for you guys.
The ups and the downs.
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Mommy, I'm gonna start. Cause you're long enough.
Mine long. Long granny.
So, quick backstory. I remember when Jamaica was they're doing the road to front. I remember when they played at the Orange Bowl. At that time, I was in college, '98. Yeah, I was getting ready to leave school, and I go watch Jamaica play Brazil in the Orange Bowl. I'm like, yo, vibes nice. I'm a
Yeah.
Jamaica color, the standard blue, you know, toot and thing on and all them thing there. And, watch, I think when Tapa just and Peter Gargill and them man, I kill Brazil. Man, remember the big defender from Brazil, elbow friggin' Tapa in the face, almost knock him out. Junior,
Defender.
right?
Junior.
You know, yeah, almost knock out the man. That was my memory, and I'm like, yo, I tell myself to myself, I'm like, yo, I want the opportunity to play for Jamaica because at the time, I remember see Andy and everybody over know I played for Jamaica. I'm saying, yo, I want to my chance. I love to get the opportunity because at the States, we never really get a chance. And ironically, Andy ended up coming to the Fusion, and Andy and I were roommates. And Lazzaroni, right, came to watch with Mr. Reed, watch us play up in New England. Remember that, Bama?
Yep.
Yeah, and then I remember Mr. Reed and Andy was talking, and then Andy said, "Yo, Mr. Reed, want to talk to you." This I'm like, "Who?" Yeah, with the national team and this and that. Because at the time, Lazzaroni was, scouting and to see who were Jamaican players around. So anyway, long story short, get my opportunity to come into the squad. Made the most of it. Get my opportunity to represent Jamaica, qualifying. I remember, playing in the national stadium. My fondest memory was, being able to have my parents and my friends and family, everybody and brother and everybody come watch me in the national stadium. And, it was a somber moment or, a really sad moment. That's when, Shorty Malcolm had passed away in the car crash. And so that game, that first game that we played against Trinidad in the national stadium, everybody holding up, memories of Shorty and all of that stuff. So, my opportunity when I scored that goal, against Trinidad, for me that was one of my fondest memory with the national teams in terms of scoring a goal. But as far as like just being part of the group, winning the national, winning not the Concacaf tournament, in Jamaica when we raised the trophy there. That was another fun moment of mine, memory of mine that I really cherish with being with the national team. So overall, really good experience. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to make it back to the World Cup. Just always run into the Mexicos or the U.S. And the Costa Rican team that always seem to pose problems for us. But just really, really grateful for the opportunity just to represent Jamaica. Coming up, growing up as a young youth, going to the national stadium, watching, the likes of, you know, um, the big players. Them, I remember watching. Geez, I'm drawing a blank right now. But we're going to Alan Cole. Those guys, the national stadium. Um, you know, and getting the opportunity to represent Jamaica and wearing the colors, it was a fun time for me, and getting my family to see, like I said, really good times, and I really enjoyed my time when I was there, man.
My turn.
Yeah, your time.
So where you want to start?
Yeah, we know you have a big catalog. We actually thought about having Tyrone and Andy on one show might not be wise because you guys have such a depth in your career. But just attempt to just share some highlights. I mean, and it can't go as depth as you want, but just some highlights that you can remember that you want to share with us.
All right. So national team for me, like it started out. Like I think I was at Georges, or I don't remember if it was Georges or Warner Prep. It had to be at Georges because you start U15, U14s national team, U16, and you start qualifying, and from there for the national team. Um, but it started when I was a ball boy at National Stadium. It was I think it used to be Shell Cup called back then. It used to,
Yeah, man. Shell Cup.
yeah, and I used to be a ball boy for the national team at that time. And like stadium never used to ram like college for Manning Cup. Like the national team back then did all right. It never sell out, never ram, but you did have a good crowd. And for me watching, like like I said, I was a ball boy and seeing um Roderick Reed, Walter Boyd, what left with the name from Mobile?
Hector, right?
Hector Wright. I can go down.
Winston angling.
Yeah, like I can go down a list of players that I just like. I want to be like them. I want to be like them. So eventually, I get my chance. Fast forward, um, it was Rene Simoes. Rene came and took over the national team, and he's like, "Yep, we're gonna, road to France, road to this, whatever." So I remember my first cap. Um, it was we're playing against that Nigerian All Star team that came to visit one time with
You did have a cap before that,
oh,
You never, me, you and Andy, Foley go Colorado Foxes.
that my count.
No, I'm just saying from before you started there, you started that the whole process with the national team from them. Coming out of Manning Cup. Three of us were selected
I
to
didn't play
go.
like I don't yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, man, you play full
yeah, with Lon Nelson, yeah.
Colorado Foxes, and Walter was at Colorado Foxes. Anyway, continue, sir. Sorry to stop you. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So well, I guess it wasn't my first cap then. Well, this is the one I consider my first cap was
Yeah.
against Nigeria. It was what's his name? He was supposed to start the forward from Mobile. Paul.
T-Got.
Yeah. T-Got was supposed to start. So we're playing against Nigeria. George Weah was there, I think. It was like an all-star team, whatever. And then on the way to the stadium, got sick. He wasn't gonna play. So on the way to the stadium now, Renee said like, "All right, Andy, you gonna start?" And I'm like, "What?" Because like I said, I was the youngest guy there, and I just soaking everything in. All these guys I look up to, and I'm just like a little boy, and he's a big grown man I'm playing with, and that first cap was pretty special for me. And then moving forward from that, like the coach that I respected or gave me the most or insight to being a professional was definitely Rene Simoes. Like the way he went about, his coaching, his training sessions, the life off the field, it meant a lot to me and kind of pushed me towards I wanted to be professional. I wanted to go to Europe, whatever. But he was the one that kind of opened my mind up to being a professional player, living, eating, drinking football. You wake up, eat your breakfast, go train, come back, lunch, later on go train again. So that was the first time I consider myself being a professional, with the football aspect. So, and then you moving on from that, another big moment for me was my first World Cup goal was in Costa Rica, at Saprissa Stadium. That was probably one of the special moments again for me for the national team, and of course, qualifying for World Cup. Being on that team. Those were special memories for me.
What was the feeling about when you got to France? I mean, all of us dream about it, but you were one of us who actually got the opportunity to go. So what was that experience, that feeling?
Well, that's where it kind of turned around for me because being a major influence in qualifying, not that I didn't start every game or whatever, but getting quality minutes, making a difference sometimes, coming off as a sub or starting, but it's just being contributing to this journey that we were on. And then like I told you already, Walter Blacks was one of my idols I looked up to, but that whole thing of '98 right before World Cup, where whether Walter White was going on the team or not going on to France, and the whole thing, it was a whole craziness that Like people used to say, "Oh, he didn't deserve it," but because he was in the qualifiers and blah blah blah. So it was like a long story. So being at that age, what was it, 18, 19, I was the second youngest. Bibi was younger than me. So going to France, I after the first game, I that's when my immaturity came in. So after the first game, I was kind of upset not getting. I got like 14 minutes, and of course, you want to play. You get there, you're like, all right. And next day, me, I get salty pretty quick. So it was on my face, it was seen, and Samoa saw it. And then me and Samoa had words. And after that, I didn't play one more minute in the World Cup after that. So, but like I said, he was very influential in my career. And, to this day, I thank him for everything he's done. And, yes, I wish I'd done stuff differently. But, at that time, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have more, two more, three more World Cups after this. I don't care. Like, so, and it never happened again. So that's one big regret I always have.
Wow. Yeah, so a lot. What we probably sitting on the outsides, looking on, having questions and not really knowing. So I mean, that's deep. Just to kind of hear that. Tyrone, was there any disappointment, any setback that you had in your playing days that you look back now and you kind of remember what that was? Any major setback you had on your journey? Injury, not making a team. I don't know what. Did you have any kind of major setbacks? You hearing us?
Yeah. Um, so I'll give you a quick little story.
Tyron,
In terms of setback and kind of laying the foundation for me, right? Um, I don't what this meant for Andy because I couldn't hear everything, but I know he's talking
No.
about setback. So when I got to the pros, right, I got drafted by Colorado. Okay, uh, I remember where I'm in Colorado for about 6 months. Yo, the training. I'm not like wonder, yo, why I can't touch a field? You know? So yeah, I know I'm better than the youth there. I know I'm better than the youth there. You know what I mean? So why is it that I'm not playing? Yo, the coach, I finally, got a little courage and went to the assistant coach and say, hey, coach, I like to just know what I'm not doing right because I'm thinking in my head, I know I better than this youth, but how this man getting to go and travel and, get an opportunity, I'm not getting one. Yo, the man carried me in his office and said, look, him draw 3 lines, like 1, 2, 3. And he said, this line up here, this is where the starters are. This line here in the middle, this is where the guys and reserve, the guys who get to come on, play and get some playing time. So this line down here, so this is where you are. I'm saying, what? I'm that bad, you know? And I'm like, yeah, down here, so there. So I'm saying, yo, like, man, I got to play at all. What is going on? I'm a pro career guy that's get derailed right out of the gate. And so I'm like, okay, what can I do? I'm thinking in my mind, what can I do now to rectify this? And so it just luckily it happened where the Project 40 was going on at the time. And the coach, saw me playing when I was in college and, he called the coach and said, hey, can Tyrone come and play with us? And, once a month say, yeah, I went and play games because the most important thing is getting games. Games is going to help you minutes. You're going to give the touch of the ball. It's going to get you up to speed, up to rhythm. And yo, I went and played 12 games with them, and finally on the 13th game, I was getting to leave, and the coach said to me, "Hey Tyrone, I want to stay. I think you've been training really well. You've been sharp and all that stuff. So we want to stay. Put you on the 18." I'm like, "All right, cool, no problem." Yo, Greg, first MLS game, right? This time I remember I got drafted. I was a striker. I know as a winger. The first game, we lead in. It was the 60th minute. We lead in New England, right? The coach making a sub. Man, look, but then I don't think the man call me in because I'm like, look, the forward doing fine, everybody doing fine because I already calculate in my head what's going on. And the man saying, calling over the sub. I'm gonna look over. I'm like, no, I'm not calling me. No man, no chance. Man, them everybody we playing well, we're winning 1-0. What am I calling you for? So anyway, man call me over, Greg, Anjay. I'm gonna go over. The man said, all right, man, give me some information, last minute tactics. I said, okay, coach, where am I playing again? Man said, yo, I want you to go in and hold the mid. I said, what? Hold the mid? I said, yo, I played 1 minute. Hold the mid. You know, in Colorado. So Greg, yo, I get on the field, I'm gonna say, yo, I'm gonna say to myself, anything come, that's a switch point of attack. Boom, down there, so over there, sir. No mistake. Right? Get on the field. First couple balls. So all take your life. You know? Simplify, but just playing more direct switching point of attack. My youth, yeah man, that was it, man. Friggin' first game the man put me in at center mid. After everything that the man said to me, yo, you're not here, you don't at the bottom, and then the man trust me for going in the middle of the park. Up 1-0, you know. I'm a rookie here now, MLS. Boy, nervous. So yo, I said to myself, don't turn the ball over. I can turn the ball over straight to goal, the man I'm gone. You know what I mean? So that's probably the last game I ever played. And ironically enough, after that game, I get traded to Miami. Because the man them said that I could play football, and the trade me use me as some leverage, And so yeah, that was my little story, man. It was some crazy stuff, man. But we have those good stories that where you struggles and but at the end, you do see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that was my little 2 cents.
How about any struggles with the national team?
Yeah, open up a can of worms now, no boss, man.
Any struggle with the national team, Granny? The Jamaican
Struggle with the national team.
Never get paid.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Huh?
never get paid.
Yeah, that was the only struggle.
Chicken feed.
Yeah, that was great. That was the only thing that we had a struggle. It's like you go to these places. I remember we even go to like St. Lucia. We in some hotel, some struggling hotel, and
Jeez.
the man them said them going to pay away and no money rolling, none. And them say, yo, you need to win the tournament. But I remember we go down on Barbados, and the man them say, yo, no money. When I have to win the tournament, we get the money. And the man them and tournament going on, and all of a sudden, man them call me from MLS team, call me back and say, yo, you have to come back to your team. And I say, hold on. So that means I leave. That means I gonna get no money. By the time I dip on Bama, all the money today, man them win. But yeah, those were the struggles, man. It's not necessarily the football part of it. It's more on the administrative part, and dealing with that side of it. I mean, the football was always decent for me. I mean, even when you wasn't starting, you do your best, you represent your country, encourage the guys that want to feel, to do the best as well. So that wasn't necessarily a struggle, it's just more with the administrative part of it, what I mean, which is unfortunate. So, but yeah, that was it for me, man, in terms of struggles.
Bama.
Struggles?
Me know say hold back for your tongue, so careful what you have.
No, I can't really say like Tyrone said, like that. The federation just need to get better and all around. Women, men, youth, like this need to be better. I'm not sure how the right road is to take now, but I'm sure they know that. But like it's always been an issue, and even to this day, you wish it was different, but it is what it is.
So go ahead.
As we get to that topic, as you know, as we talk about all of the top players come out of Jamaica or never come out, but there's big time players that you play professional, you play that next level. You have played with some players in Jamaica that are better than some of the top pros you've played with. So I guess my question is, what can be done better to give these guys an opportunity? Obviously, we know the Federation is a third world country, the resources is not there. But as a scout now, how is it? What do you look for in a player? So we can give these guys an opportunity. I know that if I come from a certain background, but there's so much talent that we know is getting wasted in Jamaica. And as past players and Jamaicans, I think we should have some kind of say to help in some way, shape, or form, and not having all these talent get wasted. So as a man, as a scout, what are your thoughts on how can we get these guys an opportunity?
All right. For when it comes to Jamaican players, it all comes down to their friends and their family. Listening to what they say and what they like. Ah, you don't need to play MLS. You need to go play
Yeah.
in Europe. You can play in England. You can play wherever. Like you're better than that.
Mm.
And it's not the case. Like it's like it's a little touchy, but it depends on who you have in your background and who giving you the good advice and the bad advice. Another thing, there's another problem is I would say the I won't call it professional mentality, but like for players that are come from Jamaica, like you're the best footballer in Jamaica at the time. In high school, you do this, you do that, you win this, you're the best baller, whatnot, blah blah blah. But when you come into the professional environment, they're not willing to work. They're not willing to change. And it's like, all right, this is my job. This is what I have to do to make a living. Like they still think it's a high school mentality or a club mentality down there where I'm the man,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the best footballer, so I need to play. And I learned that the hard way too because like I said, I won this, won this, won this. And when I came to MLS, like Tyrone said, like I know I was better than this guy, I know I was better than that guy, but they're still starting over me or still playing over me and getting minutes over me. And you just have to change that
Mentality.
mind. Yeah, you have to change that, and it's like, all right, I have to do what it takes to get on the field. I have to do this, even though I don't like it. Like even me, like you know me, I was the laziest person ever. Like I hate running, hate getting fit, and the coach is like, you don't do this, you don't do this. I'm like, but that's not my strength. That's not what I do. That's not But you have to
Just.
add all of that into your resume and build off of that.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like it's just players just need to be committed. Like you have so much opportunity now for high school players in Jamaica to go to different leagues and make a name there. It doesn't matter if it's Timbuktu
Yeah.
or wherever. You go over there, you're the best player in that league. Somebody else is going to see you. You go to the
Yeah.
next level, somebody else is going to see you. But the thing is that players, I think, my personal opinion, I don't think these players in the guys in Jamaica are willing to take that step. They just
Yeah.
want to no. If it's not Manu, I don't want. I don't. I'm not going to Sweden. I'm not going to Iceland. I'm not going to Finland. You know, it's ways to get to the to where you want to be, and hopefully it'll change in the future.
Biggest thing, and I think is what we talked about in the last segment last week about college and mentors. I don't think these kids in Jamaica have enough mentors that's guiding them and leading them in the right direction, help them individually make decisions because not everybody's journey is the same. And I believe, as you mentioned, the mentality of the Jamaican players, jumping from high school in Jamaica to go to the pro is like crazy. Like you can't. It's a different level. So my thoughts to them is, as a top Jamaican player, as you said, you need to get seen, and it's not easy to get straight to the pros. So their journey needs to go through college in the US, right? To get into college, and scouts like yourself can see them in college. You don't have to go there for 4 years. You don't have to say, you know, I want a college degree or that's my dream. My dream is to be a professional player, but you have to take steps to get seen. And
Hmm.
they're so against, not only that they're against America, they're against the college soccer system. They think it's not good enough.
A means to get to the next step.
It's
Yeah.
just means. So as we talked about last week with the, it's just the two gems that the mentors that our players in Jamaica just don't have. And I think that's what V is doing with his program because he's got a lot of players through the college system, But it's important because you have to get seen. You have to get seen wherever you say. If you need to go to India or play in the first division in India, if you love have passion for the game, you go do it.
Yeah, score 10, 15 goals.
Yeah,
Easy.
if you're playing, go score. If you go to college and you score 15, 20 goals, any team going NCAA, you're gonna get seen. So if you get seen by an A League team or you get seen there, you go play professional, start at the lowest level, you score goals, and you make your way up. But the problem with us is we don't want we just want quick.
Yep.
We just want to jump to the Manchester United and the big clubs right away and don't, as you
Look,
say,
look at what Tyrone said. Like Tyrone went to Lindsey Wilson first. Like
yeah,
I remember go division for first division.
tree.
Like he went there first, and then him go on to the FIU and go win and get drafted in MLS. So it's not like you just like, all right, I'm an open president. All right, yeah, MLS or England. Nah, it have to like, yeah, I'm lucky, Tyrone lucky, Ola we lucky. But yeah, sometimes people you have to put in the work, and I don't think people are willing to do that at the
It's
moment.
important that you understand everybody's journey is different. Not because I'm doing this way, it can work for me. It's different. Everybody's journey is different. You can't watch somebody else and say, "Oh, well, I better than him, so I don't need to go in MLS, or I don't need to go to high school because he's playing in Europe. I better than him, so I need to go straight to Europe." Don't
Yeah,
work. It don't work. So it's important that our local players understand and our coaches in Jamaica, our teachers, they need to mentor these boys better because there's so much talent that's wasted that it's all based on decision making. They're making the wrong decisions. That's why they're not making. So they end up staying in Jamaica forever and play Major League Football, which is it's
yeah,
not.
you're not making a living off of that.
So that was one of the major things there that I think it's important that we have some Jamaicans on the chat listening, and it's important that you make decisions based on your passion, which is I want to be a professional player. It don't happen overnight. You might have to go to the high school, the college route, or if you get a little chance to go to the Philippines to play in the third division, if that's your passion, you go play it. That's I would go play anyway.
Look at USL now. So USL is the second division in the US right now. The USL money that is making players are making now is what I was making. That's my first.
Yeah.
Like money that those players are making compares to MLS players right now.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that top players in Jamaica not see this as a chance to get the opportunity to play yes, the second division, but you're looking about your family, you're looking about your own livelihood. Like there is opportunities, but there's like 30 something, 40 something teams. Not enough Jamaicans in both leagues, man. It's sad.
Yeah, part of the thing, which is one of the reasons why this last part of the segment for us is really to give a platform where some of what you guys are experiencing as coaches and scouts at the next level is to be able to communicate to people so they can hear. I mean, we as the coaches here on the ground say it time and time again that you have to start somewhere. You can't everybody can't go straight and play MLS. Just like what you guys are saying. But the reality of it is because they want the big name and they want the big excitement. They're not prepared to do. And we build them up from even us. JC big baller, George is big baller. And they have this big baller mentality that, when they go over there, they're a dime a dozen. There are a lot of people that have, who have the ability or the talent. So what's going to make him that much more different? Or why is Andy the scout going to see something in him? And his attitude, his discipline, it's his work ethic, it's a number of off the field scenarios, which, we're not doing as much as we need to do on the ground here with them off, not the football side of stuff. I mean, there are obviously more stuff that can be done, but I would love you guys to really comment on this part, both Tyrone and Andy, just in terms of what are the missing ingredients of a Jamaican player. I mean, this is not just Jamaica because it happens all over, but you guys are seeing players every single day. But what are those things that you're looking for in the players that is going to say, no, not just about his ability, but there's something else I see that I'm willing to take this chance
All
to
right,
score.
all right. For me, like we our academy team, we have academy team U17s, U15s, and we have signed about since I've been here. We've signed about all right. Just the last 2 years, we signed about 5 academy players to our first team, our USL team. These academy players were national team players that did the US national team for 2017 youth phase, and they were like, you know, these guys, you know, uh, scoring all the goal every week, active this week, this and that. So we signed them to the first team. Once these kids get to that first team, 17, 18, we signed a 16-year-old. But once they get amongst the men, it's a different ballgame. And you can see who is willing to make that change to be like, yes, I want to be that person. Or you can see the person like, yeah, I'm this good. Like I should not be happy. I'm this good. Like I don't need to practice as well. I scored this and this, and I should be gifted and get playing time. And it's not like that. Like you do good in that youth level, but there's a switch when these guys get to that next level, professional level. That some of these guys just don't have. Um, they play 2 years in the QSL, and then that's it. They're done. But there's other players that have this work on like mentality, like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stay after and practice. I'm gonna work on this, and you can see the difference of who wants to be a professional or who just has the talent and is like, all right, I'm good enough. I don't need to do anymore. If that's not working, all right, then. You just see it happens all the time. Not Jamaica, but also here in the States. Same thing. Just kids.
Yeah. Tyron, what about you? So I mean, obviously you're coaching and is a scout, but what about you? What are the things that you're looking for as a coach?
Say that again, V.
So what are some of the things that the qualities that you're looking for in a player as a coach? What do you want your player to turn up every training session and have? What are those attributes that you are looking for in your players?
Okay, so for us, right, we created a player profile in a sense, okay? Meaning for each position, these are some of the attributes that we need, in order to fill or, to accommodate our principles of play, right? So if we decide we want, part of our principle is, we want a winger, for example, who's to get in behind the back line. So now we have to look for the wingers who are capable to perform those tasks within our principles of play, right? So that's where we kind of base our model, our player profile. If they can meet, I said 8 or 9 of the qualities in that player profile, then those are the guys that we're going to go to. Obviously, the mental side of it as well, that's going to come in and be a big part because all the information that's coming to the players, meaning that the stuff that we're talking to them about, how to be positionally sound, if the ball is on the opposite side, what are you doing? Are you tucking in? Understanding the game, being able to read the game. So their psychological profile as well, that's part of it that we look at to best, profile the players. So if the players that we're looking to bring here ticking the box on these particular areas, then those are the guys that we want, so because they're going to fill the style of play that we want. So that means we don't have to go out and try to, teach them certain things because we already did our research to bring in the players according to how we're going to play. So that's how we're doing it, with the coaching staff. That's what, the idea is in terms of, the traits and characteristics of the players that we'd like to have.
So Tyrone, you mentioned something that I think is just my observation of the football is that because you're coming out of a Jamaican environment where we're not where we need to be in terms of a system of play, in terms of ensuring that they're brought there and they come into an environment like a RSL. There is a system of play. There's a particular way, and our Jamaican players tend to struggle in these kind of environments. What would you
Yeah.
say the reasons that they are struggling in these environments are? I mean, I know it's not obvious, but from you as a coach, why you think they are not making the grade and being able to be a part of the system or adjusting to the system?
Well, again, for me, just listen to what you're saying. The last part, I caught the last part. Why the Jamaican players, would struggle if they come into a particular club like ours because of we're playing a style of play or their system. Again, it stemmed from their environment, their club, right? If you're gonna be bringing producing players to play professionally, or you want to play professional, I think you have to start develop it from the grassroots, like what you guys are doing, going into the high schools, the prep school, high school, and then on to the professional club. They have to start identifying system of play. They have to start doing it through the coaching education. Coaching education for me, I think, is going to be key in order to teach all of these traits and all of these attributes and all of these principles. Because if you don't have a coach to relate this information, how are you going to deal with it when you go in an environment like ours, where now it's a particular style of play, and if, for example, you don't know how the winger is supposed to behave in this system, or in a 5-2, or 4-3-3. This is what the particular role for a winger. So it all starts from the coaching education. I think if coaching education can evolve, to where the local coaches are being, taught, the current, and keeping up to date in terms of that particular field, then I think it will help the player, individual players, because now their knowledge of what's going on, how to play. For example, if you have, you're building out with three in the back and you're playing with two holding mids, and where the outside back's going to be on the opposite side, all these things that you need to know. If the coach can't teach you this, how are you going to, be able to, go out and produce or perform if someone can't tell you what to do? And I think that's where the Jamaican players are at a disadvantage now, because I think the lack of coaching education and teaching from that standpoint is where they're falling short. So when they do go to go overseas, or they come to this, go to Europe or wherever it may be, it takes them a while to adjust to that particular team or environment.
Yeah, that makes sense because and that's a problem with Jamaica. Is not just Jamaica. Youth soccer in America is the same. Youth kids playing youth soccer, and the coaches, they just put on a shirt with a local club on it and say they're coaches, but they're not coaches. They don't know the game, and they're not helping these players develop.
Yeah,
We have kids up here in big academy
yeah,
program. And coaches are the same. They're clueless, but they feel entitled and they feel like they're coaches. But yeah, coach education is the key, and I think
right,
that's a big problem in Jamaica, because as I said, we see talent, but you take the talent out of Jamaica and try to put them in a system, they get lost. They don't know how to adapt. They've never heard some language.
right.
How do you want your nine to play? How you want your 11 to play? How you want your six to play? They just play ball with no system. So mentally, they're not prepared mentally.
Yeah,
The training sessions they get in
yeah.
Jamaica.
The skins and yo, pick up two team and play.
Yeah, run. So I think I don't know what it's like now, but in the US it's a problem. Coaches, proper good coaches is hard to find. And I'm sure that's one of the major problems in Jamaica too. You have coaches that's been coaching for 30 years and never took a course, and they're coaching our best players.
Right.
They don't have any license, but they're
Yeah,
coaching
yeah,
our best players. So that's a problem. So it starts from the
yeah.
ground, start from prep school, and you need to get these talented players with proper coaches that know the game, that can teach. Just like you're in school, you need coaches that can
Yeah.
teach. For football, you need coaches that can teach, and that's a big problem. As Tyrone says. So.
Yeah, that
Right.
the assessment, guys, is that the players watch TV, they know how the game should be played, or they see how other players play, and they think they can just get up and turn up and perform without putting any work. When you think, Andy mentioned a very valuable
Right.
point about making a decision that this is now your full time, this is now your job, this is how you're going to earn your living, and that decision to, it's not the part time semi-pro. I mean, and this is a Jamaican, right? It's not that in mentality. This is what you have to do earn your living and to take care of your family, and therefore you have to see it as a job. And if you see it as a job, your attitude towards your training or preparation for your training, or you take care of your health, what you eat, those things are so critical to the success of players. And we are constantly trying to communicate, and this is why we're asking you guys to really say it so that they can that persons can hear. It's not that we don't want a Jamaican playing in MLS. It's not that we don't want them playing in England or wherever, but we don't have, or we're not producing that type of a player that is going to give you that preparation and that work ethic or that whatever in that. I mean, all right, so Leon Bailey, Bibi, Ricardo Fuller. I mean, when they get into that environment, yes, their ability was there, but they had to put in the work. I mean, I don't know any of them who have. I mean, Bibi is 15 years. Ricardo is another 14 years of playing. But there's a lot of work that they put in, and I don't think there's any substitute for that. No talent player just gets it. So I mean, maybe you guys can speak about that.
V, like I said, if it wasn't for Renee, you wouldn't have Bibi, you wouldn't have Pepe, you wouldn't have Tapa, myself. Who else played professional from that? Like whatever, I don't remember who else, but from that group, like for him coming in, we had the house up Norwood, and you
Narrow.
live there,
Yeah.
for Narbrook, and you live there. You wake up, breakfast, practice, lunch, practice, and that how you know me. Like back then, I party animal. Like I'm ready for touch the road, I'm ready for go out. Like but when he came in and changed all of that for me and opened my eyes, and I'm sure the same thing for Bibi and everybody else. Like, all right, this is how I'm gonna make my living. Like football, take it serious. So that's how it worked for me. So
Yeah.
So my story is with because I was in Camp Falcon with Simone, and I was in college at the time.
in California, yeah.
Yeah, I was in college at the time, and I came in, and he liked me, and he said, "Listen, only way you can be on this team is if you're full time with us. You
Yep.
can't be in college if you're not a full time with us.
Yep.
Now take it." And it's the same thing. My mother said, "No, school."
Yeah.
School. So I just remember him saying that because a couple of sessions I did, and he come to me and said, "Listen, you have some attributes that we like, but what's your story?" So I said, "Yo, I'm in college. Yo, if you want me a part of this team, you have to be full time. Come live here."
Yep. I,
Yeah,
I get the same thing, Greg. Like
yeah.
same thing. It's like, all right, I was my last year. I had one more semester at college to graduate. It was December of was it 97, and he's like, all right, boss, either you come to Jamaica in January and live, or you can stay and go college and do what you're doing. So I'm like, whoop, out. Here we go, out. Yeah, he gave me the same option. Like,
Same.
you come now and come to Jamaica and live and try and make this team, or I wish you well. Go to college and do you. I'm like, nah, I'm coming.
Yeah, but it's the real thing because I remember that clearly. And I always look back and said, "Wow, could have been a part of that team or have a better shot." But if I did, I already talk to my parents about that all the time. So it's one of those again. It's one of those things that decisions can really make you or break you, whatever path you take. So those decisions are so important that you need mentors that have been there and done that to give you proper guidance. And I don't think there's enough of that in Jamaica, or even up here.
Yeah, so we use a platform here to give persons our insight into just kind of what it is. Yeah, we have a Tyrone and an Andy there at Real Salt Lake, so they should have Jamaicans there every day, but we want to bring the reality to it. Is that it's not even about. I mean, you're professionals. This is what you do as a job. Your character is on the line. Your integrity is there. This is what you're going to. This is what you're known for. So everybody has to pass through the same level. And if you are doing well where you are, people start to ask questions. Who is this kid? What's his background? Then you come and take a look. So it's very important that we balance that, and it's not just about our talent and our ability. There are the other intangibles that must be placed there for to ensure that we're giving the players a good chance to be successful when they go on a trial or when they're in an environment. And there's a lot of work that we need to do, and you guys probably sharing more in that space for our young players because they don't know what Tyrone had to go through. They don't know what Andy had to go through. There are other newer players that are there now, but when they're watching a television, when they're watching a game, they're just really watching the game to see who score. They don't know really the history behind it. They don't know what was put into getting that player. And I think when those stories are told, you get a whole different appreciation. You get a whole different thing, and that's why these guys need to get exposed a lot earlier. We have national players who are traveling for the first time and going to play in a big tournament. How is already able to do that? And so we have a lot more to do in that regard to really get our players to really be thinking next level and how they can be really, first class players. But a lot of it has to do with the work that they're putting in now. Um, so guys, as we come to the close of the live, I just kind of wanted to ask you guys just some closing questions, and you can just take it one at a time. But Tyrone, why coaching? At this point you're retired. Why is it that you coach, and what is it about coaching that brings you some kind of gratification?
So the reason why I chose coaching, for me, it was a way to give back to the game.
That's right.
When I finished up my career, I was playing in a position where I had to, direct a lot of, traffic, so to speak. I was engaged. I wanted to see how I can leave my imprint on the football. I took my badges actually towards my the last couple of years of my playing career. I went ahead and just obtained my coaching badges. And I tell you, that was probably one of the best decisions I did towards that point because it helped me to see the game in a different light. From a coach's perspective. Because sometimes you're in training, and the coach tell you to do, this is the drill. You play 9v9, such and such and such. And then you're like, all right, from a player's perspective, yeah, you play 9v9, you want to win the game, it's 9 against 9. But from a coach's perspective, okay, what's the reason why you put three in the back, two in the midfield, and three up top? Now you're looking at formation, how you can match up. I know from that perspective, I'm looking how we're gonna play, and from a player's perspective as well, I'm seeing it from both sides now. How you want to play, and then what the coach want from the situation, want from the drill. So for me, it was that part really encouraged me to get into the coaching because I wanted to learn, I wanted to get better, I want to see how I can leave my imprint on the game itself and to make it better. And ultimately for me, being a Jamaican, I wanted to see if maybe down the road someday playing an ex-national team player to be able to be back in the program to give back to bring that sort of professionalism or coaching experience at a high level back to the program. Because at the end of the day, as Jamaicans, you want to see Jamaica get back to the World Cup on a consistent basis. And if you can add your 2 cents to the mix to help in that journey or to help, along the road, then that's what I like to do. And that's what my thing. I wanted to get into coaching because of that. I wanted to give back. I wanted to leave my imprint on the game and just trying to be the best person possible.
Yeah. Andy, your question is, obviously you could have chosen to continue playing, retirement, how making a decision to retire or to go into coaching. How easy, how hard was that? What was that process like for you?
I was never ever given the option of this is I got offered while I was here and like, all right, Andy, we love you. We want you part of the program, part of the team. This is what we have for you.
Take
And
it or leave it.
I wouldn't say take it or leave it, but like, yeah, I could have gone play a different tryout for a different team, go play somewhere else, but I had roots here, and the coach at the time, Jason Christ, he and I played together. He was my coach after a while, and then he and I just connected well, and him at the time and the coach at the time, they told me point blank, like, they want me here, and they're like, all right, this is what we have to do. We want providing feedback and helping the team in that way. That's how I got into scouting. After
Okay.
2 years of scouting, Jason left, and then one of the assistant coaches became the head coach, and then he wanted me to be an assistant. So I did that for a year and a half, and it was the most stressful thing I've ever experienced in my life. Being a professional coach, assistant coach, whatever. So it's a lot harder, like coaching professionals, and it's a lot harder when, especially if you're not winning. You're worried about your job, you're worried about the training session tomorrow, you're worried about this, you're worried, like, it just constantly, like, I did not. I was on edge the whole time. Eventually, I got back into the scouting job, which I loved it because I just watched soccer all the time, watch football all the time, morning, noon, and night, and I just had a knack for it. And I think that's why when the original coach and GM, they kind of knew that in me already, and they knew that, like, all right, we need somebody that watches games, can watch soccer, and I think that's why, like, at that time, there was the first official scout in MLS. Like, there was no other team had a scout. All the coaches did their own scouting. So at that time, was it 2012, 2013? I was like only, in MLS, the only scout at that time. So, like I said, hats off to them for seeing something I didn't see because I still wanted to play at that time. But I guess it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. So this question is for you and Tyrone. Well, more Tyrone than anything else. But um, what are the greatest challenges you have being a coach in the MLS? Tyrone, you mute yourself. You have to unmute yourself.
Turned up on 4G.
Yeah, sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, I said,
Say that
what has
again,
been
V.
the greatest challenge for you being a coach in the MLS?
So yeah, part of the challenge for us, for me at least, in the MLS coach, is the ever evolving landscape, meaning that if you're not up to date with the current coaching platform, coaching education, you could be relevant today, next week you could not be relevant. You know what I mean? So that's for me, just to make sure that I'm up to speed, up to date with the coaching education part of it, because the game is evolving so much, the tactics is evolving so much, so you got to make sure you stay in. That's all is the biggest challenge. Like, okay, what's the next big thing? What's the next big trend? So just making sure you're up to speed with the coaching education for me is, obviously one of the biggest challenge, because sometimes in your club, you can't really be, involved in doing a coaching education and trying to make sure that your team's winning, because ultimately that's what you're judged upon, is wins and losses. So all the education and all the different tools, if you're not producing and winning, then it goes for naught. So that kind of the challenge. How do you balance education, and how do you balance to making sure that your team, your club is maintaining that winning attitude, that winning level, that winning spirit that they have. So for me, that's the biggest challenge for me, just to make sure that you can balance both. And again, it's full time, man. It's you go to work in the morning from 7, and sometimes you don't get home till 6 in the evening. So sometimes it's really tough. People think, oh, you're a professional coach, you just go, you train for 2 hours. Now there's a lot of preparation that goes into it to make sure the team, the product that's on the field, looks the way that you want to play. And in order for that to be done, a lot of research, a lot of scouting. Andy knows that part of it. a lot of put session together that's relevant to what we want to do. Because if it's not, then it's just like you throwing 11 players out in the field and say, hey, go ahead and do what you want to do. So creating a platform for them, style of play, principles, this is what we want to do, and have them buying in. These are the challenges that you go into the work every day and trying to face and try to conquer, to make sure that you're on top of it, and that you're relevant.
Yeah. Andy, what about you? What are the greater challenges you face being a scout in the MLS?
Um, I've been through it a couple times. You have the player that you want. You know, everything, all the boxes are checked, and like, yep, he checks this, checks that, and then player comes and it's a total bust, which is a reflection on myself. But you have, you can always, like I said, you can always look at what's in the field, but you have to have, the off the field persona of that person that you're bringing in here, because yeah, you can be, an asshole or doesn't vibe well in the locker room, or all of a sudden the coach just don't like this guy because you just look at him wrong. Like there's a lot of factor that goes into that. All of that counts. And I've been in a position a couple times where it didn't work out for a couple players, but on the whole, I think I've been pretty decent with what I've brought to the show so far.
Okay. All right. So I have a couple questions in the chat that I just want to pose. Um, I guess Andy, you being a scout, you can answer that one.
I saw that one. Yeah, we've had that. We've had Jamaican players here all ever since I've retired. Yeah, Damar Phillips, Amar Holness, Kevon Freita. There's been players that have tried out here um, for first team and second team. Um, so there's Peter Lee Vassler was another one that I was dying to get here, but just didn't fall into our lap. But it's consistently and then MLS has the Caribbean Combine that we've done 3-4 times now, and we've all had Jamaican players in there, competing, and I think for the last 3 combines we've had the MVP be Jamaican players. So I've been doing my part in trying to get these players here. There's been opportunities for players to come try out from Jamaica to here, but it just it hasn't worked out. But, always looking, always reading, always watching stuff about players to keep an eye out.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that, Andy. We have another question from J. Henry. It says, are you guys available at all, face to face or video conferencing, to provide mentorship for some of our most talented youth here in Jamaica? For example, grassroots youth development levels.
For me, like like I haven't I've been last time I've been to Jamaica was 2 years ago, and I got to see some Manning Cup. And of course I follow, listen to, friends of, agents that work down in Jamaica, friends that watch Manning Cup, friends that watch, you know, you know, Major League football down here, and I kind of keep up to date on the players that down there. But as for the youth level, I don't have any connection with anything youth wise down there. Um, as to giving any kind of mentorship or any guidance as to how to be professional or how to take that next stage. No, I don't. But I've Twitter, I've Facebook, I've, you know, I'm I'm on there. So feel free to reach out.
So you definitely won't say no, but you're currently not involved in anything. But if opportunity presents itself for you to mentor or share your experience or advice, that's possible. Okay.
Always, yeah.
Yeah. Tyrone, what about you?
Say that again, Andre. I was breaking up. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, the question is,
I know
how
it's talking about mentor.
are you guys available at all, face to face or video conferencing, to provide mentorship or some for our most talented youth in Jamaica? Would you be
Oh
willing
yeah,
to
absolutely. I
offer that?
mean, at this, yeah, I'm definitely open to the idea. I mean, with now the new format, Zoom and all that stuff, I think it's a great platform to where you can reach out, with the young guys and just kind of, give them some guidance and some encouragement and and then show them the right way or path in terms of where they should go. Encouragement and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I'm willing to reach out and and lend my support and mentorship to kind of guide the youth.
I don't prefer Zoom. I prefer a ticket to Jamaica. I do face to face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right.
I do face to face, not a plane ticket.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that in a Zoom thing or the ticket.
right.
Nah, face to face. Buy my ticket.
Yeah, mama, nothing wrong with it. Yeah, let's get them all together, and we both can go down. Absolutely, 2 for 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd use this and say, usually when you have access to players like Andy, persons like Andy and Tyrone, it's really about being organized. It's really about having some kind of a structure. As you can imagine, they have schedules, they have calendars, and if they can take out a weekend or a few days, it has to be planned way in advance. So I think for us here in Jamaica, I've gotten that all the time that it's not a hard sell to sell Jamaica. You send ticket and say come to Jamaica for a weekend. There's very, very few people will turn that
Yo,
down.
I'm there.
So the
You'd have to
question for
ask
us
me.
here locally is we have to know what we want. We have to be able to be very organized, very structured, very deliberate, and you can reach out to people like Andy and Tyrone, and there are a lot more people. I mean, these are just our friends that we can reach and get here now, but there's a lot of people who would love to come to Jamaica and give back and try and find a way to help our young players. So my advice there is really for us to get ourselves sorted out, make a plan, and you know you can then approach people because you seem organized. The ad hoc, just have a feeling, I have a little nudge. I want you to come down. Don't work with organized and structured professional environments. They need to get this way ahead of time. So, um, all right. So as we close, I have we usually close the live with these kind of things. So I'm going to make a phrase, and you're going to finish the phrase or the sentence. So, um, if you knew, if you know what you knew then, what would you do differently?
Don't give somebody a screw face.
Yeah,
Only regret I ever have in my life. Next day,
yeah.
I was like,
No, I can't see it right now.
yeah, I was like, after that Croatia game, like I was mad, But yeah, that's the only thing.
Tyrone, if you knew then what
So
you know now, if you knew then what you know now, what would you do differently?
Turn button up on mute.
Yeah, mute. Yeah, mute.
sorry, guys. But I'll go to England, play in England, not come to the probably make some more money. I live the life. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, what I know now, and compared, obviously, the decision, maybe to leave Jamaica, at such an early age, it wasn't my choice, but I'd have loved to stay a little bit longer and play, and had the opportunity to possibly be in the squad like with Andy when they went to World Cup. You know, um, to get the opportunity to play at the highest level. That could be probably one of my regrets. I would say if I could do it over again, I'd love to be more involved back then. With the national programs. Just to have this opportunity. But everybody have the different path and all that stuff. So it is what it is. But if anything I could have gone and changed, that would have been my only thing. To be in that situation where I could have played in the World Cup.
Yeah. All right. People don't know who Andy Williams is or Tyrone. So if I just ask you, I am, how do you finish that sentence? I don't know how you describe yourself. I am what? I
Say that
am.
again, V.
I am, and then you need to finish the sentence.
You
I
answer,
am.
you Tyrone first.
I am a father.
I am what?
Yeah.
I am what?
I am a father.
Okay. So you're a father of how many?
Yeah.
How many people need?
Then,
Yeah, I'm a father, man.
I will have this aside team.
Not a lot of people know I was a dad. Yeah, I'm a dad.
How much kids?
basketball team.
Five. Just five. Yo, so two of them now. One, other one at the back. See him there, Molly. Oh, Molly and Morgan.
Big ball of them, right?
Two of my soldiers.
so what are they?
Yeah,
What are
man,
their
them a
ages?
child thing. I'm a big baller yet. You know,
What are
not
their
yet.
ages, Tyrone?
So Morgan 16 and Molly, where are you? Molly hiding back there. 14.
Okay.
And then
Cool.
then I have another one at home named Kingston. The boy the bad. You see the Jamaican connection, Molly Kingston. Yeah.
Yeah.
two rebel them, you know. Two rebel them man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
The Bama know them.
Yeah,
Trouble them too, them man.
devil, devil man and devil.
Yeah.
I am. Andy, what about
Man.
you? I am what?
Hello.
What is comes after I am?
Yeah,
The
we're in and
laziest
out,
best
so we're good.
footballer Jamaica ever produced.
What?
Yes.
The laziest best footballer Jamaica ever produced.
And
Yeah, I think all your friends will say that. Hey guys, you know on a serious level, Andy can't touch him toe, you know. You know, the man can't
Yeah.
touch him toe. If man a stretch or do or pull him quad or whatever, the man look like him about to drop down. You
Yeah,
can't believe the man is so
But
talented.
if I stretch, I pull muscle.
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh,
Throw the ball up already.
yeah. All right, so guys, you know, it's been real. It's 2.5 hours. You know, Greg and I spoke last week, and
That's it.
it was that kind of conversation. We really want to thank you guys for, you know, taking the time. You know, we could talk about ball all day long. We appreciate you guys taking the time now just to give back, sharing your story, sharing, you know, the journey of the legends, you know, in, you know, Bama and Granny Marshall. What was put into you guys becoming, you know, what we came and watched on TV and, you know, celebrated and cheered. You know, there was something behind all of that, and you gave us a glimpse into that tonight. So we really appreciate that. Obviously on the other side, you know, you guys being coach and, you know, in the pro level, there are so many Jamaicans who are aspiring to become professional players, but there's a gap between the aspiration and, you know, actually becoming real there. And you guys are providing or provided some kind of insight into what a Jamaican, well, not just Jamaican, what players need to be doing in getting them ready to go to the next level. It's a whole nother world. It's, as Andy says, big man time. It's not a little boy in a high school thing. And what the players need to do to get to that level is really important. So really want to thank you guys. I just going to give each of you a time to just say your closing words, whether it is to a player in Jamaica or just generally as a Jamaican coaching, whatever you want to. Your last few words to anybody who might be listening and who would listen to this video after. Greg, including you, and then I'll wrap up.
Uh,
Final words for.
yeah.
Go ahead, Andy.
Well, for me, I want Jamaica reach back a World Cup, and I want to be part of it, helping them reach some way, somehow. Whether you know, coaching youth team and having players, you know, moving up to the senior team, and then somehow qualifying for World Cup in the future. Like I didn't even have to be part of the first team or the national team, but anything, U14, U16, and having those players moving on to the next level and getting to that goal, I'll be, if ever I can achieve that, that'll be, I'll go to the grave happy.
For me, I'll jump in. Just a few words. For me, it's just trying to encourage, the people out there, the Jamaican, the youths, the coaches, whatever different age, genre, whatever it may be. It's just trying to be educated, because, out there it's tough. And in order for the Jamaican them to get a foot in, we always have to go above and beyond. We have to do, and that's just people in general, especially when you come with, your of colored, your skin is of colored. It seemed like you have to go the extra mile, to make sure that, you can get the job or get the opportunity. So I say for me, there's invest in you, invest in, how you can make, your surrounding environment better to create, that future, you know, um, the platform where it can just give Jamaica that extra boost where they can get the opportunity to show their talent and show what Jamaica is all about, because we have some talented coach there in Jamaica, and players as well. But in order for that to happen, you have to invest in it. You got to invest in your time, invest in your abilities to have this chance. We all have done it. I'm sure you guys can do it. Just use us as a that stepping stone look to achieve to what Andy, William, Tyrone Marshall, with Gregory, Andre. We just have to make sure that we invest in that.
Yes, just to echo both, I totally agree with both Andy and Tyrone. But to start with Tyrone piece about investing, it's important. When Tyrone say invest in yourself, it means surround yourself with the right people, surround yourself with smarter people, people that's gonna help you get to the next level, people that you can learn from, mentors that can guide you, um, so you can achieve what you need to achieve. Because we all are talented. We just need to find what our passion and drive is, and surround ourselves with like-minded people and feed off of them. I mean, there's so many resources that is out there for us to learn, and it's important that we do that. As Tyrone said, you have to love yourself first before you love somebody else or love anything. You have to love yourself first. Invest in yourself, if it's financially or if it's just reading a lot more. You have to do that. But on the other piece, what Andy said, which is very touching to hear, because I feel the same way, is Jamaica football needs to get to the next level. And we are out here now, all fully licensed coaches, all into the game. And our dream and passion is to come back and give back to help Jamaica get to the World Cup. So you have some strong resources here, some passionate past players, current players that love Jamaica so much that we're willing to give back and do. But it's one of those situations where it have to be the right setup. We're all busy, but we're willing and able to come back and help. And for the federation to hear this, they need to reach out, because there's a lot of positive resources out here. And my belief is the grassroots first. I don't think we can start from 14 and 15-year-olds. We got to start from the youth and set the foundation there and build it all the way up. We have to have a plan. Not the next World Cup. It has to be a couple World Cups back, and build it from the grassroots up. But the resources is there. There's a lot more of us Jamaicans all over the world that want to be a part of this. So, just to piggyback on both the boys, we're Jamaicans through and through. We love the flag. We love the country. We're proud whenever we see Jamaica playing well, or Usain Bolt representing Jamaica, whatever. We are Jamaicans. So our passion one day is to definitely come back and help. So whatever we need to do, that's our dream. As Bama said, I'm going to go to grave, go to his funeral, knowing that he did something for Jamaica football, getting him back to the World Cup. So
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely. I mean, we are products of how valuable starting younger and the emphasis on youth that was placed on all of us from prep school to Miami Classics to camps that we went to. It was very riveting into us how important that was, and I think we you know, each of us have shared our story and our journey of what football has been able to do. So we are successful at what we're doing. We have made it, and we're continuing to make a difference. So the intention here is for persons to hear that it don't matter which part of Jamaica you come from. Once you have a desire, once you surround yourself with the right people, once you're hungry and teachable, coachable, that there's no limit. We've brought different people on this live sharing their stories, whether it's George's, JC, Casey. It's not a school situation. This is really about the talent that we know we have in Jamaica and why we can't be world beaters, not just in certain things, but in all things. And it requires a certain level of professionalism, of discipline that is going to bring that out in us. So we want to thank our guests again for coming on. We want to big up all those persons who came and gave the comments on our live, the questions, all our former teammates that are part of it, helping to bring uh, the questions, and definitely valuable, and we really appreciate that. Um, the video will be posted again on Facebook, and it also is on YouTube. So you can play it back, you can share it with someone else. This is not something that we want to hold on to. I think there's a lot of valuable information that was shared tonight, and in the absence of you hearing it face to face, you've gotten from people who are in the game now, and they're telling you as it is. And there's no doubt in our mind that if we are able to get our players to think differently and to begin to prepare differently, that the end result will be a lot different. So go to YouTube, like, subscribe, so we can have more videos there. We will do some more stuff. Greg and I are continuing to find different ways. It might be in a sit down on another topic. It might be in webinars that we could do. So, Tyrone and Andy might invite you guys to just do a webinar or Zoom, something that, can give us an insight into what you guys do, to kind of open up the world. I don't have to fly to Real Salt Lake. You guys can run a Zoom session on a particular topic. And so what those things will be able to do is, separate the cost element out of there. So, we're looking to do some stuff, and we'll talk back to you guys. But I would just want to thank you guys again for coming on, and yeah, stay tuned for some other ones and listen out for the calls, because we're gonna call you for some more stuff. But big up, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time, and yeah, we'll connect. But there's a lot more that the four of us, Trevor is there, a lot of other persons who are there that want to do stuff to give back to Jamaica. And I know we can knock our heads and see how we can do that. It don't mean money, but it might just mean a commitment to do some stuff that can help Jamaica and Jamaica football. So, let's knock our heads and see how we can do that. We want to see Jamaicans. I am saying right now that we need to see Jamaica in the 2026 World Cup for sure, and we need to have quite a number of our players. Yeah, it possible, Bomber. Don't do it. I told Gregory this, but I have a hashtag Ballaz 2026, and my 13 and 14-year-olds, I'm saying to them, you need to set a goal and say you need to be on that team, because 18, 19 years old, it can't be far-fetched for you to think that you can be playing. And they did it, Bibi did it, but now you look at every national team, 17 and 8-year-olds are playing for their national team. So, it's not a far fetch, it's not something, it's not no dreaming, no sky or nothing. But 2026 for sure, we should be, with all the changes, coaching education, with taking lessons learned from people like you guys and putting it into play. There's no reason why we should be in the World Cup and competing, and maybe one and two of our players that we are currently coaching will be in there. But that's what I am doing from Ballaz, to say, look, that's a goal that we have as coaches, and that's a goal that you guys as players need to have, that in your lifetime, it's a dream that we had, and fortunately, Andy, out of all of us, you are able to realize that. And even though you have a little regret, but it should be more.
2026 year.
Eh?
Which part 2020?
Absolutely.
In US, Canada, and Mexico hosting it.
US are hosting, but I'm getting ready.
Eh?
The US hosting it, but I'm not being qualified. So next year, yeah.
Yeah, so US, Mexico, and Canada are hosting it. That means they don't need to qualify.
Be qualified, yeah. So that means
So if we can't qualify for that, we don't deserve to go no more World Cup. I tell the truth. But
Yep.
the other countries not playing. The other countries are doing some crazy work. The Panama and Costa Rica, they're not playing around. So we have some work to do, and we'll
Yeah.
get to it. But
well, you can reach me anytime and Zoom up this bed. So, right.
yeah,
So,
all right, big up, guys. Simo, respect. Tyrone, thank you. Bama, respect.
Yeah.
All right,
next time.
Yeah, Andre, respect, man. Greg, respect.
cool.
Yeah, big up, Granny.
Yeah, man. Ballaz. Yeah. Bless up, yeah?
All right.
Cool.